The other day we covered like this whole crazy story about this TikToker named StrangeKevin, and he had 3.3 million subscribers, and he did this trend that really popped him off, where he did like this what was it called, the sussy stare, the female gaze. I did a couple videos like reacting to this situation. And he got, basically, from what I looked at in here, you can watch it, I'm linking everything. He got canceled for no reason. He that's pretty much it. He got canceled for having a consensual interaction between a girl his own age of 21. And people are now coming forward and trying to cancel him. And they, and he has like a little bit of a rough past. He has some of the bigotry in there. And listen, I'm not trying to be that guy, but I feel like a lot of us have messed up. And he made edgy content on TikTok when it was okay for the content to be edgy on TikTok. Doesn't make the content okay, but I don't think that like his entire like life is that edgy content. You know what I'm saying, dude? So anyway, he made a video that's called "Let's Address Everything." I watched. I haven't watched it yet. Now we might see something in here that changes my mind. I'm certainly open to it. But yeah, let's give this a watch. Let's see him address this everything. Let's get this party started. Let's start it. There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Let's talk about everything. First things first.
Sure.
This video might be a little long. I have a lot to say. First things first, the domestic violence videos from a couple years ago.
I just want to say one thing real quick. It's funny how he says this video is like, it might be a little long, when it's like 50 minutes long. It's like 48 minutes long or 51 minutes long. And that's like a normal Pop God video, bro. So
I want to start off by saying that I don't support domestic violence. Nor do I think it's funny. I
don't think he's going to show the videos, but the domestic violence videos he's talking about, to give further context, he did like a weird thing where he made jokes. You could see it in the other video. He made like a joke about like how his girlfriend said that she got pregnant, so he gave her like a Hadouken kind of a thing. Inappropriate for sure, very edgy. Not a fan of it, but that does, like, again, the edgy jokes. There's edgy jokes I've made that don't define me, that I'm like not happy with, and I think that we've all been there as well. I don't think that he's actually a person who would do that, so yeah, but that's what he's referring to.
Was 19 years old at the time.
Yeah.
No excuses. But my humor was a bit different than now. For whatever reason, I thought it was...
And it was on a time on TikTok where like super edgy jokes were like, honestly, they weren't spoken down on. So like, honestly, I think that's a pretty big factor to me. It's one of those things where if the sphere that you exist in is acceptable of the behavior you're engaging in, it makes you think that like that behavior is an okay thing to do. That's kind of the reality, bro.
It's funny to reenact a woman getting beat and bleeding on a couple of occasions. As I sit before you, I am a 22-year-old. I'm not proud watching a woman getting beat and bleeding. And now, for whatever reason, I thought it was funny to reenact a woman getting beat and bleeding on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, it's interesting because to be honest with you, because I've seen them, and again, you could look at those other videos, but I feel like his presentation of it is more aggressive than I would have said, because I mean, I guess it is what it is. But yeah.
As I sit before you, I am a 22-year-old.
Me too.
I'm not proud watching those videos. I think it sucks that I made those videos. I don't think they're witty. I don't think they're funny. There's a reason why you have to go so far down my account to find these type of videos, because my humor has changed, and I do not go to the extents on making jokes, anything similar to those videos. Okay. I still make dark humor videos. In fact, that's why I had growth last December, was from the Quiet Kid skits. Yeah, I think my dark humor has become more...
People think that he like really blew up. Well, that like his first bit was from like he did get obviously get attention from the videos that were about like the female gaze. But the thing what I thought was funny that made me follow him was his videos about like those ones, like the creepy kid in the corner. Like it was basically like a little bit of a school shooter joke kind of a thing. Those were fucking hilarious to me.
Tasteful, less appalling. Definitely less
Because you're making fun of white people, okay? Because we all know that white people are school shooters. I mean, come on, let's be real here. Let's be real.
gruesome. I'm not acting out violence. So yeah, the domestic violence videos, don't support it. Don't find it funny. As a matter of fact, I think it's super problematic that at the time I thought it was good enough to post and funny enough to post, because people watch that. Young, impressionable minds watch that. And that spreads the narrative that it's okay. And that is not okay. So that I take full responsibility for. It was stupid trying to be edgy humor that did not age well.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
next.
Okay.
After the DV videos were brought to light, people were bringing up minors in my Discord server. I believe I created the Discord server in December of 2021. I created it.
So I talked to StrangeKevin about this, or let's just call him Kev. It's a little weird to call him that. I talked to him about this a little bit because I was like, listen, I understand where you're coming from, but like you shouldn't really be having like this type of like I would say sexualized content with like young people being allowed to be in there. He's like, that's not what it is. He's like, basically, I have an adult. It's a channel for like my fans, and then we call ourselves the Kev Sexuals as like a meme. Like I get that, and then we like there's a particular channel that is age restricted, and he's like, age restricted not because we do anything with like any. That's like, we don't do anything that's like sexual in there. It's just for people that want to make like stupid edgy jokes, and like for adults that want to get away from like the younger people in my audience. I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. You know, I get that. That makes sense to me. So
with the intention of having supporters of mine all hang out in the same space.
Yeah, that's pretty
it was recently
normal.
brought to my attention that people in my server, minors in my server, were in the introduction channel talking about, hey, I'm 14 from Illinois, I'm 16 from Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's
I take full responsibility for that. Regardless of my lack of knowledge on the situation or me feeling like the server was moderated enough, clearly that's not the case when there's minors telling people what state they're in.
Yeah, for sure. I can understand that. So for me, like when I did Discord, I was very inactive with my Discord. It was like a lot of other people kind of doing their thing and having fun and all that stuff. It's one of the reasons why I kind of ultimately took it down, because I really didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I can understand not like understanding what's going on. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that it's okay. Like, you know, it's understand, but it's like, okay, hey, you know, I overlooked this and I kind of fucked that. I'm sorry. I get it. I get it. Like, I understand that from like a personal thing, I guess, you know?
It does give easy access to people of
Sure.
Pedophilic nature to message a minor. I have a fair amount of moderators in that Discord server, and they are not perfect. I'm not perfect.
No, and they're probably young people too, honestly, because like that's people who like Discord, young people and pedophiles. No, but they're probably young people too that are like, oh man, I think your stuff's so funny, or women, because I think that I was watching his live stream a little bit yesterday, when I saw that, you know, because he had mentioned that the video got put up and he asked me to react to it, and it's a lot of women simping for him. So, you know, probably people who don't really understand Discord in any specific nature, you know.
Definitely things are going to be slipped. We're going to miss things if someone blurts out something too personal. One of us are going to miss it, and that is wrong because we can put a child in danger. Regarding the future steps for that Discord server, you can now only post in the selfie channel if you're 18+, and you can only speak in the introduction channel if you are 18+. I'm open to hearing if anybody has more recommendations to get a tighter grip on the safety aspect of the Discord server. I'm willing to do anything and everything I can to make sure that it's a safe space. Because at the end of the day, what happens in that server, I am responsible for. Okay, next.
I mean, listen, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that you have more responsibility for it than other people, but, you know, sometimes shit slips through the cracks. But I understand what he's saying, like. So I could appreciate that he's taking responsibility and accountability for it.
Started streaming on YouTube, which has now become my main platform.
Okay.
Now, when I started streaming on YouTube,
let me tell you something, and I haven't finished the video, so, you know, but from what I've seen, this guy, he's getting a raw deal here. But I will say that, like, my ban on TikTok has been like the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm not just saying that as a cope. I think from a longevity perspective, I'm gonna be like much better. I have been much. How did two stupid fucks die already? Oh, you guys are so dumb. Oh my god. How did you make it through fucking middle school? Jesus Christ, dude. These are the dumb kids that are posting in Kevin's Discord like, I'm from fucking California. I'm fucking 16. Like, listen, you know, be a little smarter than that, dude. Your parents got to teach you smarter. You know, I can't be doing that shit. You're gonna get. I'd smack my kid if they ever did that. I went into a Discord, told them where they're from, how old they are. I'd be like, you shouldn't be even in Discord. I'm not even gonna let my kid have Discord. Sorry for that rant. Sorry. fuck I was saying. Part of it might be copium, but like, listen, I was able to generate YouTube. This has been a much more consistent platform that I'm much happier on. I have fewer like eyes on me, but like I make more money, and it's cool. It's nice to not have the entire world coming down your throat constantly. It's just a nice feeling to not constantly be like, you know, it's just can be annoying, you know. But I guess that's what I do to people I fuck reactors. So yeah.
Before my TikTok was completely banned, I would look through the mentions and react to the videos mentioning me, stitching my videos, adding me to the entire YouTube stream. In an attempt to be comical, I made jokes about the people's appearance that were stitching my videos or reacting to them.
So some people, like for one thing, I understand like the frankly obsessive nature of like constantly like, hyper focusing on the people that like, you know, all the hate. You know, you lose your TikTok account. I understand the hatefulness that you go through. It takes about a month to really get through it, I'll tell you that much. So I get it, but at the same time, it's one of those things where, you know, you can't allow it to like consume you fully. You can't allow like shit like this to be all consuming, or it's just gonna have a negative impact. Some of the stuff, like some people were like being rude about him, making fun of his appearance, so I understand why he would hit back on them. But some people were just like, they're being a little silly, and some of his responses were disproportionate. I think people, some of the you could consider racist. I mean, he made fun of some of the features of black people. I get it. That doesn't necessarily mean that was his intention. He might have just been edgy, but like obviously, you got to be careful and stuff like that in general. So, you know, I understand why people got upset.
And there were two women in particular. They were both black women. For the first woman, her lip looked cut and swollen more on one side than the other. And I made a comment about how your beef ain't with me, it's with Mike Tyson, whoever the fuck knocked your lip like that, verbatim. For the second woman, she flared up her nostrils at the camera, and I Google searched a shotgun barrel, implying that her nose, her nostrils looked like similar to a shotgun barrel. There was a video made by a man named Jarvis, in which he was alluding to the idea of me being racist.
Yeah, I watched that video too. I watched that video as well. I don't think that he's a racist, bro. I think, listen, man, I say this all, like, listen, everybody has prejudice in their heart. Everybody of every orientation has prejudice in their heart for something in some capacity. And sometimes you may not even realize it. It's not a fun thing to admit, right? Because, like, who wants to be that person? But we're all that person. It's just a lot of people don't admit it. But once you kind of realize it, you can take a step back and go, yeah, you know what? Like, this was really wrong of me. And that's all you could do, bro. And so even if it was like a subconscious thing, it's still inappropriate, but it's good to like acknowledge and go like, yeah, you know what? That's something I shouldn't have said. Right? I don't think it, you know what I mean? That's life, brother. That's growing as a person. You don't? Yeah, for sure. You're right, dude. You're right. But yeah, man. Yeah, it was wild. Yeah.
Following that video, that's when people started to call me racist and deem me as a racist person for these comments. My take on the situation. I think
that's a good point. He made a racist comment. Doesn't necessarily mean he's a racist person. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think the problem is that the person that he made that joke against, especially, wasn't even like really making fun of him. They were just like making fun of the trend, I think. And I think that that's part of the problem. Is it was like really disproportionate to make fun of them the way that he did. That was the biggest problem. You know what I mean? Yeah, everybody has a little bit of goblin inside of them. You know what I mean? All you could, bro. Sometimes all you could do is laugh at it and be like, yeah, I got to do better. Like that's really all you could do sometimes. It really is. You got to just take the L and move on. Like I put up a short of it. Like I made this like short here. Let's see if I can get it. You know, let's here it is. It's just one.
Like I was watching dude, and I see like a video on his recommended talking about something like Destiny. There's like a black person quiz. Like Kobe Bryant popped up on the screen. Or was it LeBron? It was like one of those two. I think it was like LeBron. He's like, is that Kobe Bryant?
Okay, Kobe or LeBron. This is a very famous basketball player, okay? I know that.
They have similar facial features, okay? It's not like a race one. Kobe and LeBron, they look a little similar, you know? So I could see why you get like a little stumped if you're not into basketball. And you have to give me a break because, they don't even look anywhere near the same. Holy fuck, I am racist. Holy shit. That's terrible. Dude, people do it to white people all the time as well, and you just don't want to acknowledge it, okay? And I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove it to you. Which one is Papa Gut? This is true, though. I'm speaking facts. You don't know shit, bro. You do the same fucking thing, bro. All right? So don't come at me with that, you white people look the same all the time. I can't take this shit no more. All right? So, yeah, man. A little bit of a Papa Gut L, but I was like, damn. And then, you got to move forward, man. That's all you can really do. That's all you can really do.
Completely understandable, the hate that I received for that. I see how it can be looked at as racist. I see that it can be looked at as a microaggression, considering my skin complexion. I was making a joke about people's appearance, and while doing that, pointed out a racial stereotype.
True.
Right, like it could have been anything else, but I chose these features, to which I completely acknowledge why that's not okay. Upon receiving this backlash, I reached out to those I know personally that can speak on the situation. Half of them said I can see why people are upset. The other half said people are being overdramatic. For me to find it necessary,
I'm assuming he means he reached out to like black people, and I understand like what he's talking about. It's like, yeah, reach out to like people that would be impacted by this. Not all black people are obviously going to be the same. Some people are going to be like, yeah, I get it, you're being edgy, and I don't take it offensively. Some people may not, you know, they may feel differently. I get it. You know, I would just try to stay away from like those racial caricature type jokes though, for like in that way, because they can come, you know, part of it too is like he was being disrespectful to that person because he perceived disrespect, right? He perceived the disrespect, and so he was being disrespectful. And I think that was a big reason why people got upset, because they're like, oh, well, you're being disrespectful. You know, when I make edgy jokes, and I know not everybody likes them, and I totally understand that, but I'm almost never being disrespectful unless I don't like the person, because I'm just trying to have fun. And that kind of gets you like into a little trouble when you start engaging in more disrespectful humor, you know?
Educate myself on the topic. All I needed was to hear that some people got upset. I now have a better grasp on why what I said was inappropriate. I'm going to do what I can do and educate myself more properly, educate those around me more properly if I see somebody make a similar mistake, and work better in improving myself for myself and for everyone who supports me. Now, I think this is a perfect time to bring up that I used to say the N-word when I was younger. My friends and I would say it all the time. I could imagine that.
Jesus. Listen, I think when I would play like online video games, we would call each other horrible things back and forth. I'm not proud of it, bro. It's unfortunate. I do wonder why he's bringing it up, unless like there was something brought up. I mean, you know, I'm not proud of it, bro. I'm definitely not proud of that one. You know? You know what I mean? It's always like a bunch of white kids saying it to each other. Ah, it's so funny, edgy, tee-hee. It's like just dumb and childish, obviously. You know.
If you are already on the fence with me, hearing that might just be like a punch to the gut, make things worse.
But
I'm gonna be completely honest. Growing up in New York City as an Arab, you just think you're entitled to saying it. Everyone around you says it. Nobody bats an eye when you say it. You simply do not understand the severity in the word you're saying.
I get what, like, listen, man. So I grew up in the island, and like the city is like very segregated. So like I'm assuming he's speaking to this, and I could be wrong. I could be ignorant here, but there's very segregated. Like a lot of people, there's areas like Asian people or like Chinese people. Then there's Japanese areas, and there's like you know, areas of everywhere. Where did he say he was from again?
To saying it. To be completely honest, growing up in New York City as an Arab.
Yeah, he probably was in more of like an Arabic area, like a segregated area. And the reality is that there's a lot of racism, and a lot of it's anti-black across the fucking world, man. And you grow up hearing like racist shit, and you're like, oh, this is acceptable. And then you start interacting with other people, like, wow, what the fuck is wrong with me? What's funny is I didn't ever said anything racist growing up until I started playing online video games. It's actually really fucked. Because like, you know, it's just fucking crazy. But yeah, man, I get that. It's not appropriate, but I understand what you're saying. It's unfortunate that there's so much like just fucking casual racism in different communities, man. But no.
You simply do not understand the severity in the word you're saying.
It's true.
Specifically the part of New York that
it's true, man, because like there's no word you could say to like me as a white person that could break me down instantaneously the way the N-word can break down like a black person. There's just nothing you could say to me. I'm like, what can you say? Oh, colonizer? Okay. Oh, so you're saying I'm based? No. Like what can you really say to like a white guy? Even if I was a gay white guy and you called me the F, well, I'm not even gay, so you can't even call me the F slur. I don't even have that empathy. Like you know, you can. I'll just be like, haha, idiot. Like I don't care. You know, there's nothing comparable for me at all. You know, call me fat. I just don't care. I don't give a fuck. You know, the only thing fat about me is my arteries and my body and my head and my chode, but it's not very long. So I had to find a woman with a shallow vagina. Right? That has to exist. If there's big wieners, there have to be big vaginas and small vaginas, right? I mean, that's just science. I'm assuming it's science. You guys are terrible. Colonizer's another word for winner. You're a dumbass. You guys are so dumb, bro. Come on.
I grew up in, there's a lot of whitewashed people. I recognize I'm white. I recognize I have white privilege. But these are the type of people that if you are any ethnicity other than white, you are considered black. Throughout high school and middle school, people would kind of draw a line between me and them, essentially saying I'm not like them and I am not allowed to be. I'm not allowed to be accepted in their group.
Okay.
To be clear, this is fully white people. I've been ridiculed. I've been
what does that
racial slurs every now and then. Receiving this type of hate from this group made me feel and believe that I was part of the black community. Again, I recognize stupid. I'm fucking white with blue eyes. I'm whiter than you can be. It took me a long time to recognize that.
I've never heard of that before, but okay. I understand what he's saying. He was othered in some capacity. Okay, sure.
That ethnicity was different than race. Just because Egypt is in Africa doesn't mean you're black. Now, why I stopped saying the word, it was about 2020. I just started community college. I recognized very quickly that it's not okay. I was very observant to who felt allowed to say it. I was very observant.
Is he talking about with like the hard R or the A? I'm assuming he's talking about with the A. Because I mean, hard R is a little different, no? Yeah.
To who deemed that they couldn't say the word. And I knew immediately I was completely on the other side. I could not say the word. And I simply just didn't even know the true history behind the word to even let it go from my mouth. Again, full accountability, not putting the blame on anything, not trying to make excuses for anything I've done. Just a little bit of context I think is important always. I no longer say the word, nor do I think anybody close to my skin complexion could. Now, why I brought it up in this...
I can see why like a person, like a black person may not like find this to be like a reasonable, like, I can feel like, I mean, bro, I get it because I'm white and I've done some dumb shit, but I can see why black people will be like, yeah, I don't buy this argument. I get that, bro. Sometimes you just sometimes you just use your abilities too early and you get nated, you know? Nated in the butthole.
This video, even though there's no allegations, I think it's really important that you hear from me.
What's my favorite white privilege? What is my favorite white privilege? I don't know. I think... What's my favorite white privilege? I don't know. Let me think about that.
And nobody else. Another thing that I just remembered was content that I made back in 2020 that was also considered transphobic. Making jokes about trans people is not funny. Not okay.
What's the joke? You know, because sometimes it could be a little silly. Sometimes it could be funny. What I think was kind of a funny joke. There was a trans woman who was making jokes. She was trying to do comedy, and I said this is proof that trans women are real women because they're not funny. I feel like that's a good joke. That's a funny, like on the edge, like a funny little joke. That's like a little bit of a dig, but also trans affirming at the same time. You know what I mean? You can make some funny jokes. No, that one's funny. That one's funny, dude.
Don't condone it. My humor has changed. I have changed. I've grown. Now, before I get into the women coming out, I wanted to bring up the videos circling around the internet, attempting to gaslight my audience into believing that the person in the domestic violence videos isn't me. I've seen that there's a few claims of an ex-girlfriend. I am a gay man. There was no ex-girlfriend. That did not happen in this timeline. Maybe in a multiverse. I like men. Men. Hold on. Do you not hear by the music I'm playing? Hold on. But you guys are not realizing these are two completely different people, and you're attacking somebody who did nothing wrong based off of somebody else's action. I completely understand why everybody hates my fucking guts. It looks like I was outed, and I just wanted an easy cop-out.
I'll say Kevin has a very bizarre sense of humor. It's, well, not bizarre. I mean, I have a similar, like, very, I guess you'd say dry sense of humor. But, so I understand. But it's additionally difficult to see if Kevin's is joking around or not sometimes. But maybe that's just because I don't know him super well. Like, we haven't really talked too much.
And made people question if that even was me. This video from the live stream was, as I said earlier, in the heat of the cancellation. And I use dark humor, comedy to get through any traumatic event in my life. I, at the time, thought it would be hilarious to say that it wasn't me.
Would this be a traumatic event? I mean, I may be, only because he's getting canceled for no fucking reason. So I guess I could see that. It does seem a little disproportionate, though, but I feel what you're saying. Okay.
Make a goof on everybody that has their pitchforks out and want to attack me. You could see in some parts of that clip that I said things like, I'm a perfect human being. I never tripped on an untied shoelace. I never picked up a $20 bill loose if I found it on the ground.
You got the wrong guy, bro. You got the wrong guy. Okay, I've never done anything bad in my life, dude. I've never made a mistake. I've never tripped. I've never walked out of the house with my shoe untied. I've never not brushed my teeth. Maybe that's a lie. But guys, you have to believe me. I've never done anything bad. Ever. I'm a perfect human.
True. Yeah.
I did things like that to come off obnoxiously obvious that I was being sarcastic about the videos not being me in them. In a time where I'm getting completely fucking dragged online, it was such a stupid idea to make a joke like that because most of the people coming to my page do not know my humor. You've never seen me speak. Of course you're gonna.
Most people coming to this guy's page were women because women, for whatever reason, thought this guy was the sexiest person in the entire world, and they're like, "Oh my god, the female gaze." I mean, ladies, listen, you did it to yourselves, okay? Okay, you did it to yourselves here. All right. Kev's a nice guy, but you've simped for this motherfucker. Come on, bro. Why don't you go simp for your fucking kids? Okay, go hang out with your kids. Stop sitting on TikTok getting yourself all moisted up, you nasty fuck.
I fucking think I'm gaslighting the audience. Well, I fully recognize that was stupid. I fully recognize how that could be how that could come off as me trying to gaslight you guys. Again, I filmed the video in the same room. The ceiling's blue. There's even a video on my YouTube channel where there's proof of that video being on my phone. It was a poorly timed goof that was not appropriate and did not land. I specifically wanted to save a portion of this video just for the women coming out, kind of give you a backstory, my take on the situation, and the truth on the situation. Well, from my perspective, of course. Let's start in the order the allegations came out. Taylor, Tay Pookie, if you want full context on everything that she said, you can watch her video. Me and Taylor...
Tay Pookie, do you have the video in there?
First spoke in November of 2021.
Is that the girl I covered? I think that might be the girl I covered already.
She was a follower of mine. She would pop up in the live streams. I might have made her a moderator in the live streams.
Yeah.
I believe before we ever spoke, I commented on her account and I said, "Hey, Tay Pookie, make sure you follow my other TikTok account." Now, how we started speaking.
Her story was, this was her story. I'm going to tell you right now. It was so sad. It was, "Hey guys, hey, I really liked Kevin," and then she downplayed that she liked him, and then she said that they got numbers and they sexted each other, and she would strip for him, and she would tell him that she loved doing all of it, but then but she would actually cry after she got off. So it's like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. So the story, it's an interesting story. I don't know how people are expected to not know you're into something when you're like, this, I like this, but hey, you know what? It's 2021, guys. If you're not a fucking mind reader, you might as well jump off a fucking bridge at this point, because you know that's life. You might as well jump off a fucking bridge. If you're a man and you can't read minds, you might as well just jump off a fucking bridge in 2023, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get a signed contract from a woman that's like, I want this, and you get a videotaping of her feeling like, I cannot wait for this event. Okay, if she decides that she doesn't like you anymore, you know what's gonna happen, dude? All of a sudden, I was scared for my life when I signed that contract next to my father. I didn't think that I'd never be protected. Doesn't matter. Some women will fucking do that. It's not all women. I understand that, but fuck, dude. You know? But I'll tell you right now, fuck, bro. Some real ass shit. Okay, it's some real ass shit. Not all women do that, but fuck, man. It makes it. I'll be absolutely honest with you. It makes it difficult to not be prejudiced when you keep having it, when you have interactions like that and you keep seeing it. How many times I've seen shit like this on the fucking internet? You know, it's something else, brother. It's something else.
On an individual level, she added me on Snapchat. My Snapchat was always in my profile. She was easily able to access that and add me. At the time, I think I was just adding everyone back. She proceeded to send me unsolicited nudes. I caught interest enough to give her my phone number, to which I don't...
Were they unsolicited, or did they... I mean, maybe they were, but... Okay, sure.
I rarely give out my phone number, but I caught enough interest to give her my phone number. We would FaceTime normally, have conversations. I slowly started to notice every time it was nighttime, and she would call me or I would call her, she would initiate the conversation to take a sexual turn. Always. There could have been like one time I initiated it, or 2 times.
It doesn't even matter if he ever initiated it or not. Like, if it was consensual, it doesn't matter who initiates like sex, as long as or sexual interaction, as long as it's consensual. None of that matters. So Just saying.
Most of the time, she would be the one initiating the sexual tension or communicating that she wanted the conversation to take a sexual turn. I had mentioned to her that I had a kink that was more, dark, like not for everybody, definitely.
So the way it was described was a mutilation kink by Aunt Karen, obviously the most intelligent TikToker. But it's crazy how like having a lot of followers makes people think that they're actually like, valuable. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'll tell you, there's like no TikToker at 1 million followers who like is able to actually like make a living out of it, especially somebody like Aunt Karen. You know how they what did I just use? Oh, a heel. Sorry. It's true, bro. Usually it's just like they get like a viral video after virtue signaling over someone's cancellation, and that's their only content. That nobody actually cares about them. It's just like the person that's getting canceled. They love to be hateful, and that's pretty much it. But okay.
To which she immediately agreed and related to, said, I have the same kink. She went up and down telling me that she was into it, which is how it normally goes. I would tell these women that I enjoy this, and most of the time they would say, I enjoy that too.
It seemed like it was like knife play from the way that he said it. They said mutilation kink, but it seemed like a knife play. Like, listen, bro, I know exactly what he means. There's been girls I've been like, yeah, I like aggressive sex. I've said that before. Like, I like to like fuck. And they're like, oh, I'm so down. I'm so into. I'm so. They're not. You know what I mean? Like, you think that you are. Which is cool, bro. If they say, hey, stop, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, 100%, of course not. But, it's the truth.
And if they say, oh, not really into that, that would be the end of the conversation, and that would never be brought up again.
Yeah, true.
In this situation,
that's another thing too. Like when I was dating around, like there's girls like, I'm not into that. Like, okay, we just don't do that kind of sex. I still enjoy sex regardless of like what. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. I'm a married man now.
Tay Pookie made it very clear that she was into said kink as well, and used that to her advantage when it came.
How much did I make on TikTok when I was on there? It depended on how hot I was. There was a period where I was hot and I was making like average like $500 a day for like for like nothing. That's when they were paying better at first, because they ended the way that it used to work was you were part of the creator program or whatever bullshit it's called. Come on, bro. Whatever the program was called, the money program, and it used to pay better because it was a static amount. So it's like this. There's like, I don't remember how much money was in it, but it was, there wasn't a lot of people in the fund. Now they haven't increased the fund, but the same amount of they haven't increased the fund, but there's more people in it. So, it's not viable, and you have to be like on for that. You have to get I had to get like 10 million views a day for that kind of money. Which at some points I was 5 to 10 million views a day. There was a day where I got like $900, but like it was never sustainable. Like YouTube's much more sustainable than that, I'll tell you that much.
To speaking to me, I noticed very shortly after we started speaking every day. Can
I just tell you, I watched a little bit of Aunt Karen's TikTok live. She called his dad. Like, she called his dad, she's so fucking weird. She called his dad, and she's like, he's running for office or something in some capacity. And you know what? On his website, he has no mention of Kevin. I think that he's ashamed of Kevin, and I would be too if that was my kid. And that's why he's not in his life anymore. I don't know Kevin's story when it comes to this shit, but if he actually has like a deadbeat dad that doesn't want to be in his life, you think that it's the 20-year-old fucking kid's fault or the dad? And it's like, this woman is a fucking insane, like a psychopath, for first of all calling them, but second of all blaming a young man for having a potential deadbeat father. And I don't know if that's true, because Aunt Karen's an unintelligent dumb fuck, but holy fuck, could you imagine saying some ignorant ass shit like that? Could you just imagine saying some ignorant ass shit like that? Like, holy fuck, it's crazy. I'm sitting here, I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, and people are listening to you say that, and they're like, yeah, this Aunt Karen person is so fucking smart. Like, holy shit. Yeah, she said she called his fucking dad, bro. How fucking insane is that shit? Like, how over the line? This woman is insane. She's a real piece of fucking dog shit. It's crazy, bro. It really is crazy. That's what she said, at least.
I get very irritated if I didn't answer her. It was coming off as very controlling. Here's a screenshot of me texting my friend Alyssa. during the time I was speaking to Tay Pookie. I believe in the screenshot I said it's only been 1 week and she's acting like this.
Okay.
Big red flag right there. As Tay Pookie and I continue to speak, more or less the same thing would continue to happen. We talk.
I guessing you fall asleep. Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm gonna try my best to sleep for now. Let me know how you're feeling tomorrow. Hopefully your allergy situation gets better. Okay, I'm assuming that's what she said. Did you unadd me? I was kidding. I promise you that if I'm not added back by the time I leave work, you'll wish God that you would have been a hell of a lot nicer to me. I'm not someone who plays games all day, so maybe think about that the next time you decide to pull some shit like that again. I've been so fucking patient with you. Okay, that's her. That's fucking unhinged. Okay.
Big red flag.
Okay, so he sent the.
I believe in the screenshot I said it's only been 1 week and she's acting like this. Big red flag right there. As Tay Pookie and I continue to speak, more or less.
Sorry, I want to see like what he said to the friend, bro. It's okay. So the person says, "Bro, that's crazy." Bro, I'm assuming. Oh, they sent that screenshot back to him after he said it. Apparently, interesting. Okay. Yeah, when you called, I was waking up from my... Okay, yeah. So that's... I mean, if that's her, that's pretty fucking crazy. I mean, I'm not surprised that, like, a 20-year-old that has boundary issues, you know? So I could see why... And I could see why he'd be like, yeah, no, thank you. That's fucking crazy. Okay.
During the time I was speaking to Tay Pookie, I believe in the screenshot I said it's only been 1 week and she's acting like this. Big red flag right there. As Tay Pookie and I continue to speak...
What happens when you're a high-value male, Kevin? The women really want that ganator. You know what I'm saying, doggy? They want to get deep in that, or they want you deep in their shit, dude. You know what I mean? Hey, like the classic bitches be tripping them sometimes. You know what I'm saying, dude? You know, but don't call women a bitch though, because the women are very beautiful creatures. Okay, disrespectful. And your mother will smack you if she's a good mother if you ever call a woman a bitch. I call my wife a bitch, though. Only because she calls me one. That's like her thing. Women are weird. She's like, yeah, it's funny. Like, that's what they do. She calls her mom one. Her mom calls her one. Like, that's like the meme. I don't know. I think it's a gay thing. I think that's where it comes from. Like, bitch. It's cool. I think it's funny, too. But
more or less the same thing would continue to happen. We talk, have a normal conversation throughout the day, and things would end up more sexual towards the evening. Okay. Now, there was one specific night...
You know, it's possible, and this doesn't mean it's his fault at all, but, like, if she's super clingy, which it sounds like she is, and, like, he wasn't responding, maybe the only time he would respond was when she would be sexual, and he's like, okay. And that's why she was being more sexual, but it's still consensual. So it doesn't really matter what the reason is.
One specific night that we hopped on the phone, and she immediately propped the phone up, walked somewhere in her room to grab a sharp object. She immediately started to carve a K, kind of near her abdomen or hip area.
Okay.
While she was doing this, she was hysterically laughing, and okay. I didn't know how to react. This is a stranger online. Clearly, I started to see, oh, okay, this person has mental issues. To hear her say things like, after every FaceTime call, I would cry, is very ironic because she would be the one to initiate this sexual tension. She would ask me...
Again, that part doesn't, like, matter. It doesn't matter who initiates it, because as long as it's consensual. So that's just something to keep in mind, fellers.
I wanted to watch her please herself. And she made it very clear, like, you don't have to do anything, you can just watch, which was actually brought up in her video. She said that I didn't do anything and I just watched her with this look that I do, which is just my face. I typically don't participate with sexual activities over the phone.
Okay. I guess worried about dick pics getting leaked.
So doing something on FaceTime makes me super uncomfortable. It's not for me. If somebody that I'm speaking to romantically wants to do that, essentially put on a show, I have no problem with watching if they feel comfortable. And to be clear again, she would ask me if I wanted to watch this, and she would initiate most of the sexual encounters that we had. Another thing that Tay Pookie said was that I blocked her and didn't say why. Which I'll tell you why. But here's a screenshot of her popping up on my Instagram feed like.
Oh, can't be. Am I seeing a ghost? Not Tay Pookie.
Taking my photos 4 or 5 months later in February, 4 months later.
Okay.
To which in her video she said that when I blocked her, she was very pleased, and thank God I don't ever have to see his face again.
So then he ends up eventually blocking me. And thank God he fucking did, because I can't even stand looking at him. I can't even stand looking at him. I can't even stand looking at him.
Proceed to try to contact me, or at least pop up on my Instagram so that I can notice her 4 months later.
Oh, I see. So he blocked her, and then she's trying to, you know, she's shooting her shot, I suppose you'd say. Okay.
Why Tay Pookie and I stopped speaking, there was a night in which she called me up drunk. I hate when people drink alcohol around me.
Cringe. Come on, bro.
I don't like when people are drunk around me. I tell every partner that I'm with that so that they don't put me in a situation where they're drunk and I'm...
So I'm going to say, it sounds like he's saying the word partner, so I'm assuming that they were... I guess he probably doesn't mean like girlfriend or boyfriend, but okay. Obviously they had something going on. Again, based on the story that he's telling and she's telling, everything was consensual. It doesn't matter who initiated what. Both of them. She even says that it was consensual. He says it's consensual. But she would just be weird. You know, that's what she says about him as well, that he was weird. They're both weird. Oh, maybe that's just young people interacting with each other. Wow, it's almost like young people are weird. There's no story with this girl. It's fucking nuts, you know?
Sober.
And he seems to have actual screenshots. So, you know, a little bit more credibility for the guy that has screenshots, you know, of her like liking his shit and everything.
And that's exactly what she did, because she called me up drunk, and because of the red flags that I got with the cutting, and because of the red flags that I got with her being
the only question is like, because, you know, my only question with the video that he's putting out is the cutting thing. He didn't direct. My understanding is that was kind of like his fetish, and I truly wonder like if it was something that he expressed to her that he liked, and like maybe that's why she would do that. Again, if it's consensual, it doesn't matter. I would wonder why he isn't being like as transparent about that. But I would imagine, and I'm being very charitable to him, so you can you know, whatever. But it's because it's not easy to be like, yeah, I have like a cutting kink or a mutilation kink or however you wanted to say it, because people I think will take, despite the fact that it you know, listen, people have kinks. I mean, like, and if it's consensual, who really cares? All right, there's girls who like to burn themselves with fucking candle wax. Okay, there's girls who like to. Is it ideal? Probably not. But if it's consensual, I mean, you know, I'll say that like it's consensual. I mean, I don't know what want me to tell you. Obviously, there's things that go too far if you chop off a fucking limb. Do I think it speaks to a greater mental health issue? Probably in both people who have the kink, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm not a fucking therapist, so. It's not like it's like I want to watch you kill yourself in front of me kink. I'd be like, maybe this one's a little too far. You know what I mean? But like some kind of cutting, like I don't know how deep it was. Did it leave a mark? Some people say they have like a cutting kink and then it's not like super explicit. You know, maybe I don't know, but you know, ultimately, you know, so
and threatening me if I do not speak to her anymore. I decided to stonewall and not give her what she wanted, not pay it any mind. I know that the best way to handle something is to not give it any attention. So that's exactly what I do if I notice I'm being put in an abusive situation. I will sit there in silence and try to gather myself. And as I sat there in silence, she threatened to go for a drive, implying that she was going to commit if I do not respond or answer.
Then let her. And I that sounds so mean that I said that, but here's the problem I'm having, bro. I've been in a relationship where somebody that I was with was like, I'll take my life if you don't do this, or if you break up with me. And it's horrible, bro. It sucks. And the person that did that wasn't the worst person in the world. Like, I know that it's fucked up to say, but like, we've all got our demons and shit. But it is fucking shitty and manipulative, man. And like at the end of the day, a lot of times it's just a bluff. And also, like, you know, you can't solve everybody's problem, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you can't stay with somebody when you're in a toxic relationship where neither of you are happy, to be honest with you, just because they do stuff like that. And so, unfortunately, you know, if somebody says that to you, I don't know, call the cops and be like, they're threatening to self-harm and because I'm breaking up with them. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best, that's the most that you can really do. If you know what I mean? If you see that as like a viable threat. And that's really all you can do, man. That's really all you can do sometimes, brother. You know?
Answer her, which is very manipulative. And
sure.
Thank God I recorded this conversation. If I have a feeling like I'm speaking to somebody who could potentially twist what actually happened around to make them seem like the victim. I like to gain my proof so that I
agree with that. Understandable.
So that false allegations like this cannot be spread.
Yeah.
Here is.
So we're gonna look through the proof, but I'll say I watched Aunt Karen talking about this, and her was like, "Oh, so you recorded her? So you wanted her to do this?" And it's like, dude, you are like, it's so funny that Aunt Karen criticized him for recording this, and for all we know, the recording could be dog shit, but we'll see. But you were trying to cancel this guy with false allegations, which so far has been true. The false allegations it's been true that they've been false. You know what I mean? And you're like, you protected yourself? Yeah, because of you, people like you fucking rabid animal that will try to cancel people because you don't like them, because you need content. That's it. You cancel people because you need content. That's all Aunt Karen does. She needs content, so she cancels people. And so, like, yeah, you have to fucking be careful, man, because we kind of live in that world. Like, listen, I'm not trying to be that guy, because there's women issues and there are men issues, and these absolutely do exist. But I see one of an issue, at least online, is that like some women, not all, not even close to all, but it gets frustrating, and come out with some bullshit story, and then all of a sudden everybody thinks you're a sexual predator, and it's like, holy fuck, you know what I mean? And it's like, you kind of have to protect yourself there, fellas. It's so unfortunate, and it's so terrible, because it just makes women of like actual, like, survivors, it makes them fucking, it makes people not believe them when they come forward, because it's fucking animals, like fucking this first girl, and fucking Karen, like pieces of shit, degenerate scum that are weaponizing, sexual assault, and to try to cancel people. It just hurts actual survivors of sexual assault. It's pathetic.
I don't know whether or not I'm gonna play this entire video or if I'm gonna cut it up, but here is this video.
Hello? You gonna keep me on mute? Huh?
Okay.
Can you not talk to me? Something wrong. Come on. Come on, you can tell me what's wrong.
Okay.
Come on. What's wrong? Huh? You wanna tell me? What's going on? Okay, now don't share your face. I'm literally so confused right now. All because I drank. What'd you fucking do?
Hey, drinking is haram, dude. Am I saying that right? Haram? Am I saying that right? But you get what I'm saying.
You drink alcohol, you fucking idiot. That was a good one. That was good.
I mean, listen, bro. First of all, some people are religious like that, and that means a lot to them. And second of all, like, you have the right to set a boundary, and that's a boundary. If somebody doesn't like somebody that drinks, then okay. Maybe he just used the drinking as an excuse because she was fucking weird as hell and didn't want to make her feel upset, and he's just like, I don't know. Who really cares to cope?
Oh no, he's not showing his face. Whatever will I do?
It got to a point where I had a panic attack over the phone, and he just stared.
Is that the panic attack?
I guess I'll just sit here and stare at his ceiling
He just stared.
until he decides to get over whatever it is that's bothering him and show his actual face and have an actual adult conversation.
Okay.
But until then, I guess I'll just sit here and stare at the wall or the ceiling, whatever.
Oh, this is up there. What the hell?
See, the thing is, I would fix whatever's wrong, but you're not giving me any fucking idea how I can fix it. So, until you decide to actually communicate your feelings and maybe tell me just a little bit of what's going on and what is wrong.
Yeah, he's showing the thing where she's like, I promise you that if I'm not back at the time I leave for work, you'll wish to God that you would have been nicer to me. Yeah, so
What I
that's
did is
obviously
wrong.
a threat.
You're gonna have a solution. So, don't blame me for that. I'm sitting here trying to help you, and you refuse. So, guess I can't do anything about that.
It's wrong, bro. This is wrong. This girl has mental problems. Nothing. I never said anything. I never said anything. I just was like not talking because I was on my phone, and she just started going off talking about like. She just coming to her own conclusion, saying I'm mad. Like I never said that. I never said I was mad. I never said anything about her drinking.
Okay, I guess it wasn't about drinking.
I just told.
Well, he did. He mentioned to us before that he doesn't like the drinking, so it probably was a factor,
I would really appreciate it if you could show your face. Considering it is FaceTime.
That's a good one.
Like, why did you even... You were blowing my mind. Like, why are you... This is bullshit. This is such
I think you
bullshit.
could do a Mythic Plus at 3:30.
I literally have no idea why you're doing this. No clue.
Snapped her
No
fingers at me.
fucking clue.
She's getting
Beats
blocked.
me.
She's getting blocked, bro.
Because usually, what you would be doing, you know, is actually having a conversation. You know, showing videos or talking about anything in general. And yet you're fucking ignoring me.
Bro, I remember when I asked her when we first met. I was like, "Why do people break up? Why do you not? Why do you?"
Hello. I literally don't understand what your problem is, dude. Like,
Okay.
I asked her
there's a
why.
lot of things that I do that piss people off. I don't know what you could have honestly gotten so upset about. That you are acting like this.
I asked her why her relationships don't last, and her response was her. She said, "Me, I get to."
What the fuck, dude?
Something.
You know, fuck it.
I see why.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna go drive around. I don't fucking care at this point. Go get in my car. I'm gonna go fucking on a drive.
Okay, she's
I'm
drunk.
gonna drive. I'm not gonna come back. Then fuck it.
She's
Fuck
drunk.
this.
She's drunk, and she's
Oh.
threatening to kill herself.
I know, that's
So
The base,
that's
right?
cool. She also, by the way, just cut herself. I know she was just sitting there cutting herself. She's like, "This is what you want." What am I supposed to do, bro?
Nothing you can really do. You have to
That's a very sad tactic to use. That will not work on me. I will not be like,
Keys
"Stop."
right here.
Because if I were to do that, listen, if I were to do that, she would know that it works.
That's true. Sure.
I don't want her to. Of course I don't. But she's gonna go drive drunk.
Which way are they?
This is so selfish. I will never relate to this, bro. This is such a disgusting tactic to use for attention. It's so fucking gross, bro. It is so gross. Bro, imagine being near this girl. Imagine being physically near this woman. This is not a woman, this is a girl. Imagine being near her. Bro, what the hell is this? What the hell is... Okay, I'm gonna hang up now. Okay? Because I don't want her to do it, okay? I don't want her to do it, and I'm not about to sit here and witness her do it. So as long as I'm on the phone, that gives her reason to continue going. So I'm gonna hang up before she does it.
Because that clip is 10 minutes long, I'm gonna cut it up so that you can just hear the main parts. In that clip, you hear her baby talking to me. You hear her bring up the drinking thing. Me being uncomfortable with alcohol, with me being uncomfortable with someone being drunk around me. Upon dealing with this, this isn't the first time somebody has tried to use suicide as a threat to me to continue speaking to them. Which I'll get into next. In that clip, you can hear me say that she was cutting herself and saying, "Is this what you want? Is this what you want?" In an attempt to make me react a certain way or elicit a response from me. It seemed like she was using her knowledge of my kink to benefit her and throw it in my face. Anyway, I called her up the next morning and told her I'm never speaking to you again.
Okay.
And
I wouldn't call
just
her
gave her
up,
a heads up that I was blocking her. That's the story with Tay Pookie.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't have told her, but okay, fair enough.
Up until 4 months later, where she was trying to like my pictures on Instagram.
I should have known that coming out with the story without having physical proof was just going to be a flop. I should have prepared myself for that, because, you know, that's how it is. A screenshot of a text that just doesn't even describe the whole context of how it even led up to that point, but I don't even have the energy to fight it, honestly.
I don't have the energy to fight it. What a pussy. Like, dude, what a victim complex. Oh, I made some baseless accusations, and then somebody had proof that it wasn't true. But I'm just so disheveled by all this false allegations I've been making. I don't have the energy to fight it. Nah, you know what that is? That's called a privilege of somebody who is not a content creator, who is trying to career assassinate somebody who is. That is a privilege that they don't even have to explain themselves. They go, I don't have the energy, and they disappear. Because there's no skin in the game. You're just some fucking dumb fuck loser who's like trying to be hateful and trying to destroy somebody's career. That's all it is. And then you die in the dungeon somehow. I don't even know what the fuck you're doing, but okay.
So I guess the whole internet's just gonna have to look at me as an emotional abuser manipulator. And I'm so sorry for the people that have come to me personally who have been affected by this person. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to tell my story so that we could get some people to even just believe us.
Now, the next person that was brought to light.
Believe what, bro? It's like everything was that you were like consensually engaged with somebody. You're a fucking adult, and then it didn't work out. He just set a boundary to want to talk to you, and you tried to fucking cancel him. Like, just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean, and maybe he is a bad person. I hope, but this doesn't mean he's some kind of fucking sexual predator. That's what you try to make it seem like he was. You fucking delusional fuck.
It was Claudia, a girl that I dated back in 2019. I believe it was from March to November.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I was 18 years old. She was 18 years old.
Okay.
And we had a toxic relationship. Here's a video of her. This isn't her account, but somebody reposted it.
StrangeKevin, please watch. This is a recap of my other video. This is a recap of my other poopy butt. Let's see. I'm just gonna pretend like I'm doing something. The source. STLSIREN. TikTok. Yay! The Crystal Siren TikTok. Okay. You know, please wait. Let's see what we got here. Sorry, guys. People are probably real pissed at me right now. Let's see. Please watch. So this video is a recap of my other video. Plus, he's not gay. Is that what it says? He's not guilty. He's bi. Oh, he's not gay. It says he's not gay. He's bi. It doesn't change the fact that so many women are victims to his actions. All right. Well, okay. Let's see.
I can't tell you how amazing it is that the StrangeKevin kid that you guys thirsted over for 2 fucking years is banned. Okay. Because I had to watch that for 2 years, knowing that back in 2019 I dated him for 8 months.
You could block him if you don't like it. You could be like, you know what? I don't like this guy. I'm gonna block him. I had a bad experience with this guy. I don't want to watch his content. Okay, that's fair, you know. But let's see what we got here.
He emotionally and mentally abused me.
Okay.
So I made another video, but it really wasn't getting enough like attention, and I feel like I need my story to be out there.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm listening to the story. He might have done these things. He might have been like a shitty, manipulative boyfriend. Does that make him and that's bad. That's not good, but it's not the same as like a sexual predator, right? Like, unfortunately, sometimes, you know, there's not even that these things happened. It's just like, what does the manipulation mean? Like, what is it that he did? Did he like hold a gun to your head, or would he say something that was like rude or passive aggressive to make you like do something you wanted? It's still wrong. My problem is that I made another video, but it didn't get attention, so I'm making this one. It's like, okay, so like, what's the difference between the video? Like, is it sensationalized? Like, what's like, why would like that's okay? Let's go.
Especially now that everyone's sharing theirs, like, I need my story to be heard.
Okay.
He told me that my essay was my fault and that I needed to take some accountability for it.
Jesus, that's terrible. If
he likes to see women in pain. People in pain in general, but mainly women.
Okay, that's not good.
I think he gets off to it.
Okay.
He gets some sort of power.
Is that referring to his like kink? Like when you say in pain, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I like giving a good spanking, but I don't know if I like call that. I like seeing a woman in pain. I wonder.
Hi from it. He takes advantage of very vulnerable and mentally ill women. Like myself, I was dealing with undiagnosed bipolar disorder at
Okay, so here's the thing. There's a difference between dating somebody with like a mental, potentially mental illness or something, versus taking advantage of somebody. It's like, because here's the thing, and maybe he was. Well, she could explain like, well, he was like how he was taking advantage of her. But here's the thing, bro. Is that there's a difference between like, oh, I dated people. I dated this guy that has like fucking autism. I'm like, okay, versus like, I dated this guy that had autism because I wanted to be able to manipulate his malleable brain. Right now we're different. This has become ableist, right? These are two different things, you know. Because my thing is that if you didn't date the person with autism, you know, like you don't have to, but like, you know, people could see that as like, oh, I won't date him because blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay. Like, it's just more of an acceptable thing. You're accepting somebody for their potential, what you can consider a flaw, and you're dating them. Oh, okay. That's cool. But versus like, I'm going to do this just to fucking manipulate. It's like, these are two different things, right? If you had undiagnosed bipolar 2, I don't see how he would necessarily take advantage of that unless maybe he's a doctor and he diagnosed it for her, and then he's like in his head he diagnosed it and he decided to take advantage of her, knowing she had this. You know what I mean? I understand people have issues, mental issues, they can struggle with different things. But that, you know, I'm talking about like active versus passive kind of a thing, right? But I don't think I don't think that I mean, maybe he did, but I mean, just because you have a mental issue doesn't mean people are manipulating you for it. And you don't lose your autonomy as a person just because you have a mental health issue. So you don't understand that.
At this point, and I have a lot of trauma and a very crazy home life. So he took advantage of that.
Okay,
he
how?
cheated on me 4 times.
Shitty, sure, okay.
And when I finally broke up with him, he would nonstop, no caller ID, call me all hours of the day, sure. Call me a whore, call me a slut, just call me the worst things ever. At one point, he threw his PlayStation controller at the wall that my head was at because he got mad at 2K.
What does that mean?
Here's a screenshot of him saying the T slur before he was even out.
What is the T slur? Just for context, I'm gonna say, like, is he talking about tranny? Like, before he was out with what? Is he like non-binary or something? Okay, I mean, I don't think that really gives you the pass to say that slur. Frankly, I wish I didn't even say it in context, but I think that frankly it's reserved for people who struggle significantly with their identity in a way where it's like diagnosed. But like that's a whole story for another day, I guess. Okay, I don't really. All right, edgy gamer. Yeah, that's not good. Sure.
Those weren't even my shorts. He did end up giving me back a good majority of my stuff, but he tore it all to shreds and tried to gaslight me into thinking that I tore it up myself. Like, if I were to ask him to this day, he would say, "Oh, I didn't do that. You must be going crazy." Proof we dated, just so no one can say I'm a clout chaser. So everyone's talking about those videos that resurfaced of him doing skits about domestic violence. In a lot of those, he was dressed up in my shirt. I don't know if this one is still like...
So, I'm just being clear. So, you were aware he was making them with you? Or... were you together at the time? Is that what she's saying? And, like, were you down with it? Did you speak again? I'm not trying to be an asshole, but, like, you know... Okay.
Online or anyone has found it, but there was one that he like knocked the girlfriend out and then buried her in his front yard. Okay. And he was wearing my shirt in that, in a blonde wig. Like, I mean,
okay. My
roots grew out, but I was blonde. So I called him and I was like, "Why are you pretending to kill me on TikTok?"
Okay, I mean, if that's true, I can see why he would say that. Yeah.
My life isn't completely revolved around you. Like, basically, like, I'm crazy. Even though it's so apparent that it was kind of towards me. I mean, he was. That's
interesting. If that's true, I could see where she's coming from. If he was as obsessive as she's saying, I could see why she would take that as like some kind of a threat, or like, why are you doing like this? This is creeping me out, kind of a thing. If it was like her clothes and a blonde wig, okay, I could see where she's coming from. Again, if this is true,
wearing my clothes. I can't fit this into one video, so.
Okay, well that's the only video we got. It's a re-upload, so that's all we're gonna watch for now, I guess. Yeah, let's get on to this video.
If you wanted the full context on that. In the video, she says things like, I had to watch my emotional abuser succeed on TikTok. She implies that her story needs to be heard and that I'm a horrible person and this needs to be brought to light. As an 18-year-old, I was a fucking idiot. I was very insecure, very emotionally unstable. On dealing with undiagnosed mental health issues, dealing with trauma.
Like I said to her, like it wouldn't be an excuse for your shitty behavior. You know what I mean? Like the same way where she was like, "Oh, I have diagnosed this," and he took advantage of that. It's the same way, and I was like, "You have autonomy." Same thing I would say with him. That doesn't mean like if I understand it. I understand its context, and I can, but like, come on, get that shit handled, obviously. So
dealing with at-home issues, as well as school and that type of stuff, which is ironic because Claudia actually brought that up and said that I used her for her being mentally ill, her having trauma, and her dealing with a unstable home life. which is exactly what I was going through. I'm not going to disclose what I've been diagnosed with. I don't believe being mentally ill is an excuse for bad behavior. An 18-year-old me was 100% a shithead. The thing that Claudia tried to push was the narrative that I was abusive emotionally and mentally. We were in a toxic relationship. There's really nothing more to that. To back her argument, she brought up that I called her on no caller ID, fake numbers. I was constantly messaging her after we broke up, which here is proof of her doing that exact thing that she was accused.
You're making me panic. You suck so bad. I never let you go this long. Looking crazy, bro. Come on, please say something. LMAO. 2 missed calls. Just tell me you moved on or something, because like why? 200 messages. Please talk to me. All right, yeah. So dude, how does this fucking idiot die twice? Okay, whatever. I battle rest him. Okay, I see what he's saying. So there's most likely potentially manipulation going back and forth between the two of them to each other, because they're in a toxic relationship. I've been there. Neither side is ideal. You know, I've had like an ex who you know, owed me like a lot of things, like money wise, kind of, and I would have to. They blocked me, and I had to circumvent that block because they, you know, they you know, there's a lot of obligations that they weren't adhering to. So I could see maybe that's a factor, but ultimately it seems like both of them were toxic. So I can see that it's the unfortunate reality of the situations. Hey, why don't you come over here, you big fucking dragon?
Accusing me of, which of course she did not bring up in her video. I have screenshots of what she would do months later. These are screenshots from WhatsApp after I blocked her, of her trying to get in contact with me.
Older.
In this one, she says, "Just tell me you moved on or something, because like, why? Please talk to me, please. He or she isn't half of me. If you respond, I'll tattoo your initials on me. LMAO, I'm serious." And then 8 minutes later, fuck you, Kevin. This is the type of shit I had to deal with. Months following the initial breakup, Claudia would contact me through numerous other routes, like making fake Instagram profiles. She would watch my TikTok live streams under different accounts. She told me that she had a cocaine addiction and that
I've talked in your live before under different names, like normal stings. I'm crazy. You made me like this. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, very based, very based. Oh, that's fucking sucks.
My TikTok live streams under different accounts. She told me that she had a cocaine addiction and that it was my fault.
I want to see the cocaine addiction thing.
There were streams under different accounts.
I'm sick of your manipulative bullshit. Literally have a fucking drug addiction. I'm fucked up because of you. Okay, that's toxic. I mean, again, they're probably both toxic, but okay. I mean, if you're both being toxic, I don't know, like, why am I supposed to value his toxicity over yours when it comes to, like, the bad stuff in the relationship? You know what I mean? It's just, like, shitty people. And I think a lot of people that are in, like, bad relationships, you know, both of them act poorly in different ways. They bring out the worst of each other. And, you know, if it became to, like, you know, we're not at this domestic abuse area where he's like, yeah, he started beating me. Then I'd be like, there's no excuse for that, you know? We're not, it's not what's happening, you know? So...
told me that she had a cocaine addiction and that it was my fault. There was one day in particular where she made this fake Snapchat under the name of Steve Perry. And in the Snapchat messages, she admits to self-harming because I'm not speaking to her. To which I had her admit that that was her, and I screenshotted for proof on my end so that she cannot change anything or make up any stories. Then I called 911 for her safety because I was worried. Like I said with the Tay Pookie thing, this isn't my first rodeo with somebody trying to manipulate me into talking to them by using self-harm.
You know what's interesting? Aunt Karen, because I remember listening to her live, Aunt Karen said something that's like, oh, all the girls you dated have a mental illness? What's the common denominator, Kevin? I was like, you really are a dumb person. Because here's the thing. People have a type. And whether you want to believe this or not, like, some people could be attracted to some qualities, especially somebody who is, for lack of a better term, damaged, could be attracted to other damaged people. So I'm not surprised that two people with some kind of mental health issue are attracted to each other, and which for whatever qualities that they are. Like, I'm not going to lie. I have daddy issues. My father left me. A lot of the women I've dated have daddy issues, okay? You know what I mean? Like, in our relationship, I tend to take like I like to do a lot for my partner, and I like to take care of them. It's nothing like gross and incestuous, you fucking creeps out there that are trying to make this weird. And they like appreciate that. You know, it's like that just is what it is. And I don't actively look for anything. It just happens. It's weird. I can't explain it. That's how people are. That's how people are. So for her to be so like dumb, unintelligent when it comes to like, you know, any type of relationship thing, have absolutely no like fucking emotional intelligence or any intelligence really, just kind of skating through life, you know, with as a dumb fucking person, it's profound to me. Like you don't understand these like very basic principles here, you know. It's like these two people who have died somehow, even though this game's been out for 2 weeks, and you know you can't just walk to the left or the right. It's incredible. That's just life, man. Is it ideal? No, but that's how people operate. That's how people operate. And it's a common denominator. The common denominator is you've never stepped outside your house. You know, the common denominator is you're a fucking idiot. Like that's pretty much it. The common denominator is that like you shamed some white dude that dates like there was some dude who did like a fucking, I know I keep bringing it up, but like there was like this dude who went around to every state and like he's like, I'm gonna date one girl from every state and they're all white because he happened to be white and had that preference. And she's like, oh, basically called him racist. And it's like, why? It's because she was jealous because she only dates white guys. And it's like, well, what if somebody said that about you? What if somebody invalidated you or suggested that you're less than in some capacity? You know, where does this double standard stop?
Claudia did that. I immediately called the police and sent them to her address. That's and smart. Said, hey, my ex-girlfriend is telling me she's self-harming and I'm worried about her. Can you please check on her? And here's the video of that. Yo, I just fucking called 911.
What the hell is this, dude? You look terrible. Why can't anyone in my... So this is apparently the person, Steve Perry, that he said she was pretending to be or whatever. Why can't anyone in my fucking life just give me any sort of time of day? And people wonder why I'm fucking cutting myself. I don't even know why I try. Who is this? The fuck do you think? Who is this, Kevin? What... You know who it is? What's your name? I don't know who this is. Who else would it be? It's nothing from me, Kevin. It's Claudia. I want to try again. You took a screenshot. Why else would I be contacting you like this? Oh my god. Okay, well... I have proof against you being crazy too. It doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck. Okay, crazy.
My ex, because she added me on Snapchat.
It's crazy how so far like we even have to do this. Like, why the fact that like this is content is fucking it boggles my mind that people can't have personal lives and like, you know, outside of like severe shit. Like people can't just like grow as people. We, you know, imagine everybody was like privy to all the less than stellar things you've done. You know, like we've all fucked up before. But again, it's like the virtue signalers, like Aunt Karen, whose entire content base is trying to cancel people, and she doesn't care about anything. She just doesn't care. She doesn't care about any of this. Like she doesn't give a fuck. It's content for her. It's a million. It's like 3 million views. Which is $90. This is $90 to her. That's all it means to her. She doesn't care about like the implications. She doesn't care about like the negatives that she's having. She doesn't care about the sexual assault survivors who've actually gone through like real shit and who are being invalidated by this type of rhetoric. You know, she doesn't care. You know, she just doesn't care. She doesn't care about people. That's what it comes down to, man. She doesn't really care about people. She doesn't care about like issues. She just cares about herself, and that's why she sensationalizes these things. And anybody who does this sensationalization bullshit, they're the same way. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about content. What they like to, or they don't care about what they're talking about. What they like to do is they like to concern troll, and they like to manipulate your feelings to make you feel upset about something that they don't care about. That's all it is. That's all it is, bro. And you should be careful of that. Be careful of those type of people, bro. Just be careful of that, bro.
Chat again on this Snapchat, and she by the name of Steve, and I wasn't answering. I wasn't answering. I was reading her. I was leaving her open, and then she said, "Oh, nobody loves me or something," and no wonder why I'm fucking cutting myself. And and because the name was Steve, I had to have her admit what her name was. I was like, "What's your name?" And she was like, "Kevin, you know who it is. You know who it is." And I was like, "Just say your name. Like, I don't know who you are." And she said Claudia, and I screenshotted everything. And I called 911, and I sent them to her house and told them that she was suicidal. So, following the police storming in her house and checking her wrists to make sure she wasn't self-harming, the first thing she did was make a TikTok about it, just to show the type of person we're talking about here. Every now and then
does it say the cops just came to my house and asked me to see my wrists? XOXO. So she made a TikTok about this event. Okay. Well, Midia is her name. Interesting. changed her name. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Just to show the type of person we're talking about here. Every now and then I would go to Claudia's account and I would try to grab screenshots of her bashing me one way or another because I knew that she would eventually try to come out and say a story. When Claudia and I dated, I was definitely a scum of a person, but I was not abusive. Claudia and I definitely had screaming matches where we would shout and say the worst things to each other. Again, toxic relationship. I was definitely not the greatest boyfriend. Because I was outrageously insecure. I would say things like, "Oh, don't wear a top that's see-through. I don't want you hanging out with certain friends."
I mean, listen, I'll tell my wife not to wear something if it's too revealing. It's that's my property, so I don't care. And again, she has every right to say the same thing to me. As far as the friends thing, like, we don't have other friends that would be like in violation of that. But like, obviously, to be honest, like if I guess she had a male work friend or something, or like a childhood work friend or a male friend, I'm fine with that. But like, if she like met a friend at like a bar or something when she went out, I'd be like, can't hang out with that person. You know what I mean? Because it depends on where you meet the person. If she has male work friends, and like that's cool. I don't care about that. But like, oh yeah, I was out at fucking Target and some guy, I made a friend. How are you? What do you mean you made a friend at Target?
Snugs super chatted $5.
Hey, thank you so much for the $5, Snugs. I appreciate that. What do you mean you made a friend at Target? What does that mean? Okay. That's how you date. Okay, I know what Target is. Target for women. That is the most like. That is the escargot for women. That is like the horny. Women are the horniest when they're at Target, and it's fucking true. Women are fucking. It's crazy. You guys are animals. Women are so horny at Target because that's women's favorite place to be. So my wife said, "Oh, I met a guy at Target. We're gonna be friends." No, the fuck you're not. I know that you're in heat. That's what that means. Oh, I'm fucking in heat like a goddamn dog. Because that's how women act at Target. And it's the goddamn truth.
I was definitely this insecure little man at one point in my life. I know I was a shithead at 18 years old. I was many things as an 18-year-old. Abusive is not one of them. And I found this very ironic for Claudia to feel justified enough to come out with a story, given that there was one night in particular where we both drank alcohol and she would not stop grabbing me and trying to force me to have sex with her. I fully admit that I would have kept this private had this situation not come out. But this woman was being super aggressive to me. We both stole like a few White Claws from my refrigerator and ran into the room and drank it. And I was putting on music, dancing, and she got super aroused and wanted to have sex, to which I kept pushing her off and I kept moving to the other side of the room. I got so uncomfortable to the point where at one point I even laid flat on the ground because I could not get this woman away from me. When I went flat on the ground, she sat on top of me. She went up to me and sat on top of me, and I've felt so fucking uncomfortable. I've been sexually assaulted by a woman before. I will not come out and say these things. As somebody perceived as a man, it is.
Yeah, okay. I feel that, man. It's unfortunate. Like a lot of times people be like, "Oh, well, you're a man, so you can." When it comes the power dynamic between men and women when it comes to sexual assault are like typically different depending on the scenario. But like in your average scenario, like a man will physically overpower a woman. Whereas it seems like women will potentially almost be manipulative in some capacity, or they'll be they can be aggressive as well with the expectation of like, oh, okay, well, if you don't stop me enough, or if you try too hard, you can end up hurting them. And like all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you just hurt me, so now you're abusive. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate. It's obviously pretty fucked.
Not the easiest thing to admit, and I would have never came out with this. I don't want any.
I wonder if that's a reason why he doesn't like alcohol so much. I wonder if that's a factor. Kind of would make sense if this happened like before that other situation, but I don't know.
Sympathy from anybody. I'm okay. I felt like that was very necessary to bring up, given that this woman is claiming to be a victim in the dynamic that we had. So as I edit this video, I realized I forgot to mention that on numerous occasions, when I wasn't aroused and I didn't want to have sex, Claudia would try to guilt trip me into telling me that you're a guy, and I thought guys were always supposed to be horny, and you're supposed to be always aroused as a man. I thought that was important to add.
Okay.
I tried to bring it up to her that she did that to me. It made me feel super uncomfortable. To which I got a... Oh. Anyways, changing the subject. Didn't care, didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, bro. It's such a, you know, it's so terrible because there are, it's so fucked, bro, because there are so many weird scenarios when it comes to sexual assault culture. And a lot of times I'll talk to, like, especially like my young male audience, and like, hey, make sure a woman's comfortable when you're with them. Make sure that they feel comfortable to say no. Very important things, because there's times where, and it's like, I call it unintentional sexual assault, where like, and a lot of times it's guys who can put a woman in a situation where they may not feel comfortable saying no. You know, I always use the example of like a guy picking a girl up on the date, could be like a third date, and he takes her out to Applebee's. You know, he picks her up at night, takes her out to Applebee's. You know, they have a really good time. He pays. Then they go back to his place. They hang out. They're watching Netflix. You know, the Netflix and chill meme. And, you know, he starts going for it. And then she's like, oh, you know, maybe she's not in the mood or something. And then, like, you know, society and porn teach us to be, you know, very insistent. And now she's in a situation where she feels like she may not be able to say no, because, you know, he may not be aggressively asking, but maybe he's going and putting his hand down her pants. And she said no a couple times. So now, you know, whereas he perceives being consistent or being persistent, like things, and like honestly, porn is a factor of like how men learn how to engage sexually, and women too. Unfortunately, and porn's not the best educator for anything. But then like maybe he continuously goes for it, even if it's in a non-aggressive manner. Now she's like, okay, this guy, I'm at his house. He picked me up. I can't really leave. I've said like, oh no, multiple times, and I said it nicely. He keeps going. You know, I like him. I don't want to do this, but maybe I have to. And it becomes a situation where, you know, unfortunate societal standards cause a person to be a woman sexually assaulted. Whereas even if the guy didn't realize what he was doing was wrong, and it can happen both ways, you know what I mean? And it's so unfortunate. And part of it's like, yeah, we teach like, oh yeah, like men are supposed to like sex. And if a guy doesn't want sex, they're gay. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but that's like what it is. It's so unfortunate. And I feel like a lot of this could be avoided if we have conversations about these different standards, you know? Now this might have been like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just fucked, bro. It's so fucked. You know, it's fucked. That's why I think it's like explicit express consent is so necessary, you know, and listening when someone's like, no, you know, they're like, okay, you know, there's nothing wrong with like asking again in a half an hour, you know, depending on the situation. Like with my wife, I've like, you know, both of us have before, like, hey, you want to fuck? No. A little while later, you in the mood now? Yeah. Okay. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I know people are like, well, it's not sexy if you ask to kiss a girl. You know, first of all, you don't have to do it before you kiss if you don't want to, but yeah, it's not really that unsexy. If you're a stinky fucking nerd and you're like, can I kiss you? Like, yeah, she's probably not going to be super turned on. But like, if you're being like body flirtatious with her, and maybe like, you know, and you're like, hey, like, is it all right if I kiss you? And she's like, yeah, that, you know, you could be sexy about it. Like, she's not going to fucking dry up like a well. You know, hot take, women don't want you to fucking rape them on the chance that they like it, you know? And the same goes for men too, you know? So, it's important, dude. It's important. It's important, dude.
I never brought it up again. Claudia also had a best friend at the time of us dating that was 15 years old. Claudia was 18 years old, which...
Okay. How old was he?
I mean, you can say whatever you want, have your opinions on it.
I mean... it's where'd they meet? They meet at school. It's probably not that weird, you know. Did they? I mean, the Girl Scouts, probably not that weird. You know, it's a little bizarre, but like, you know what I mean. Like, it's I guess it's not necessarily normal, but I wouldn't call that like some kind of fucking predatory interaction there. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
But our big red flag to me was when Claudia told me that she had planned.
Hey, you think we could kiss? Yeah, imagine that. Hey, do you think we could have a kiss? That's not going to turn a girl on, guys. Okay. Can I kiss you? Like you fucking crush to the cloud. That fucking comment in the goddamn chat fucking killed me. You're ridiculous. That's so fucking stupid.
And on having a threesome with a TikTok famous guy who had about 12K or something. I don't know him. I don't know his name. I couldn't tell you. I think he was like 19 years old. Claudia was 18, and her best friend was 15 years old.
Okay.
So this is a 19 and 18 and a 15-year-old having sex.
Yeah, that's not ideal. That's not good. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, that's obviously gross. So
They didn't do it, but she told me that she was planning on doing it and saw no problem with this happening. Another thing that she brought up was a screenshot of me calling her the T slur, which is a transphobic slur. I take full accountability for saying that. I did not make a habit of saying this. You know, I think stupid 18-year-old Kevin just thought it would be funny to throw that word out very loosely. And at the time, I don't think it was considered as a slur, how it is now. Another thing I want to talk about is
that's probably true. That's so true with like a lot of different slurs, like that they weren't necessarily valued as slurs back then as they are now. Sure. Or it's not that they weren't slurs, that we didn't care. Kind of like how the R slur is like nobody cares. Like they should care more. People with you know, especially people who are high support needed with intellectual and developmental disabilities do not like that word, but like it's more accessible now in society, bro. It shouldn't be, but hey.
Saying I'm gay, saying I'm not gay. I've never dated a woman. That's not me, right? Again, from earlier. I am not going to come forward with my sexuality. I do whatever I like. I date who I want to date. I don't do labels. I'm Kev sexual. Again, well, and that's what I tell everyone. I tell everybody that I'm Kev.
First of all, I understand where he's coming from, but sorry, the text I just got is fucking outrageous text message I just got. My wife texted me and she said, this is all she said. Okay. She said, I trusted a fart. And I'm like, oh, really derailing the stream here, baby girl. God damn. God fucking damn. Okay. Well, you know, that's sometimes that's life, guys. You trust a fart and it's really a shart, you know.
Sexual, just to give them an answer, because everybody wants to put a label on you. So Kev sexual is my answer to that. For the most recent girl to come forward, Tanaya. Tanaya messaged me. Girl to come forward, Tanaya.
Tanaya have a. Tanaya. Let's see this. Am I gonna beat this? I probably don't have to pay attention at this point, right? It'll be so cringe if I do. Fuck. All right. I just want to see what Tanaya's TikTok is. Mom thought TikTok. Okay, so kind of want to find this. Okay.
I don't think this is probably the last video because I really don't have anything else to say. But
was there other videos like? Where did I even fucking click, bro?
I don't think this. Hi guys.
I'm not being canceled.
It's just one of those days.
Since everyone's coming at Kevin. Jesus Christ. No, get the fuck out of here. Leave me alone. Oh, I'm dead? Oh, you son of a bitch. I don't care. Sorry. Okay. I was only getting the blood for your necklace, and I had a mental breakdown. Okay, that's crazy. I don't know why you're being so mean. Okay. He's calling her toxic. Sure, we've already kind of established that. Not ideal, but what are you going to do? That's crazy. You don't know why you're being so mean. You'll pass. You're acting so different. I never asked you for anything. I asked you for a necklace. I was making it. I asked for the necklace. I was making it. What do you mean that's not nice? You have it better than me. Wait, what? I was only getting the blood for your necklace. And I had a mental break. What the fuck? Wait, she told... What? Wait, she was making blood for a... I get it, the blood necklace. That's bizarre. Okay. People like you wouldn't understand. I miss her and I don't know how to cope. Things would happen when you can't control your emotions. And for me, that was fucked up. Can't. Very sorry, but I genuinely felt safe telling you things. I feel like you were more understanding. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I feel better. That's a great heart, but you blocked my Snapchat for what? You made me uncomfortable. All right, it sounds like she was potentially doing this thing called trauma dumping, right? And it could be manipulative, or sometimes it could be an example of just like, you know, going a little too far. And it's okay. So, like, this is the thing. I understand if you have like a lot of shit going on and you want to express it to somebody that you may feel you could trust. I get that. Sometimes people aren't ready to hear that stuff. It's totally fine for him to say, I want to walk away from this. Whether you like this or not, your trauma, and I don't say this to be rude, but your trauma is not anybody else's problem except for like your parents or your spouse or like a deep partner. But even then they take a step back, especially a partner, and be like, you know, but sometimes it's too much, bro. Okay, this isn't ring like a super big red flag to me, but okay, they were dating and it was too much for him. Okay, they dated. Cool. So that doesn't communicate that really much to me. The blood necklace thing suggests to me that she's got some stuff going on. Seems like this was her first post coming out about Kevin. Blah 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 blah. You know, here's I don't know what this.
So because people were mad they couldn't match my energy. These women they wanted to keep me in their life so bad to the point where they made themselves feel uncomfortable unknowingly in order to please me. And when I did not want them, or when I felt like I was being manipulated into staying and walked away, now everybody wants to come out and say all these freaking things, dude.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right based on what he's been saying. So.
Wow. And just hold on, let's finish the video.
Okay.
Hi guys, I really don't do this social media crap all like that, but today I'm going to be going live with Aunt Karen and exposing what StrangeKevin had done to me, my side of the story.
I don't care about that.
A bunch of females and women have been coming out about what he did to them. Okay. And now that he's trying to say that he's gay and all of these accusations.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna finish this for context, but
other Kevin's not him, and that it's not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought I'd come out with my side of the story and how he has mentally just crushed me, put me back to square one, as I said to my mom, and my whole family has had to talk with me about it. So I'm going to be going live today with Aunt Karen to explain my side. So
sometimes that happens, bro. My first girlfriend made it like fucked me up confidence wise so much I couldn't use my penis for sex for 2 years. So, but I don't think that she's a bad person. I mean, like, shit happens. Sometimes you're shit at each other. Now I'm strong, powerful, like an ox. And even if I wasn't, I'm married. So she pretends that it's good. So I don't have to care. But yeah, man, that sounds like it sucks. But that doesn't. When you come out about your trauma due to a famous TikTok creator and his stands defend him the same way and with the same amount of trust as my family do with my brother. I don't know what that means, but okay. I always trust people who use their trauma for TikTok clout.
Because I don't even know.
Here's she gonna dance to a audio of Kevin saying that he doesn't want to be with her. I don't understand.
It's I look like. Hi guys. I look like straight SHIT. Because I haven't slept in a long time. I've been taking melatonin as much as I can. My hair has dried gel. It's not dandruff. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That's not what we're talking about. I have been getting threats left and right, not only on my life, but also on my child's life, my 4-month-old child.
Yeah, that sucks.
Due to the whole entire StrangeKevin situation of me coming out, of my friend Pookie.
That's obviously not right, but, you know.
Coming out about it. She has also been getting multiple threats and just getting bullied relentlessly on this app. And I would just like to please just...
I'm assuming that's on Aunt Karen's live, so we'll see what's going on with this.
Ask you guys, please, stop. Like, there's literally no reason for this. And if none of this was real, don't you think Kevin would have been like, hey guys, can we stop harassing them? It's only going to make it look worse on my part.
So, to that point, let's see. If so, there's two options. There's two potential scenarios. Either she could be correct about whatever she said. We don't even know what she said yet, so we can't really weigh him. Or he could be correct and that she's lying. So either way, he has either he's a scumbag with no intention to try to defend her from getting sent death threats or harassment because he doesn't care because what he's saying communicates he's a bad person, or maybe you're lying about him and he's not going to correct it. As long as he's not actively calling for it, whatever. But...
Don't you think that would be a thing? The reason all of us are coming out at once is because, do you understand how scary it is to be the only person speaking out on a large creator?
Okay. At this point he's banned, so I don't know if he's a large creator anymore. You know what I mean? You gotta lose that. He's a large creator. Yeah, 6,000 followers, unfortunately, because he has to restart on fucking YouTube. So
thinking about it for weeks
before Pookie even came out about it. Once Pookie came out, that gave me the green light, and I was like, okay, I won't be alone. I'm not going to be alone. That is the only reason I came out about it. And she is...
And again, we have to look through what she says, but wouldn't it be terrible? The first two girls that we saw were basically full of shit. Wouldn't it be crazy though, like if she was actually telling the truth, but those other two had lied about the situation to such a degree, or or interpreted it in like such a bad way, like they, you know, the way that they framed it, like such a dishonest way, that like she was just gonna get swept under the rug. I'm not saying that's what happened. We have to, you know, we're gonna keep moving on, but
so incredibly strong
Let's
and
talk about my
brave
pee.
for doing that, because now that I came out, I see how much hate and how scared she must have been to do this because of the threats that I am getting left and right from unknown numbers and random people. My Discord got doxxed by him, which means that people now have my phone number, and through my phone number, people have randomly gotten
how does he get a phone number through Discord like that?
My address and have sent it to my personal phone number about my child and everything. I have screenshots of everything right now. I will not be coming out about anything until it becomes a court related case, because I don't feel safe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this video and I'm going to delete TikTok and whatever I feel safe doing through my psychiatrist or whatever I'm going to do. But I'm not crazy. Pookie is not crazy. There is multiple other girls private messaging us personally about this, and I'm talking over double digits, each of us.
Oh.
That do not feel safe or comfortable coming out about this online because of what people are doing to us.
Double digits, damn. So what she's saying is that there's like 10, 15 girls that Kevin has traumatized. And how long have you been dating, Kevin? You've been dating since you were 10 years old? How the fuck do you have time for all this? Like, what the holy shit.
So thank you to all the people that are believing us, but to the people that aren't, screw you. I don't hate anyone, but I genuinely do feel so incredibly bad for how naive you are in this moment in time. Because when it comes out, you are going to be so upset. People supported Hitler at one point. Not comparing him to Hitler, but I'm saying.
Holy shit. People supported Hitler. So based. So based that people did support Hitler at one point. You're right about that. You're right.
And people supported bad people at one point because of how single-minded and brainwashed they.
I knew it. I knew it, you motherfucker. I fucking knew it. This guy's watching me. Watch him. Watch him. Watch me, bro. What'd I say, dude?
They were. People supported Ted Bundy.
True.
People supported Jeffrey Dahmer. They fell in
Well,
love.
I don't think some people supported Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy. I think that they support him now after he's killed all the 8 people because they're women, because women are fucking. I can change him. He's dead, bro. You can't fucking change him. Okay.
Up with him. You're like, do you guys not understand until it comes out? You guys just look dumb. I'm sorry. You look so.
Okay. Well, you should probably Okay.
So
Well,
dumb.
so far,
I don't think this is probably the last
all right.
video.
So this is video number 3. Let's see. Maybe she'll actually give us some allegations or some screenshots. You know, that would be pretty good.
I really don't have anything else to say.
Okay.
But you cannot let his vanity get a hold of you personally. Don't let that control you. Don't let that, if you need to come out about your story, whether it's Kevin or somebody in your life, like I had to deal with that shit with my brother. Like, just honestly, get it out there. Get the word out there. Nobody is going to believe you at first.
His excessive pride. Can you just tell us she hasn't even told us what the allegation is.
There's going to be a lot of people that will doubt you, that will bring you down, but just don't ever stop it, honestly.
Okay.
And I just want to put this out there. While I am getting death threats, do not send death threats to StrangeKevin. Don't take this situation.
Okay. Well, that's nice of you to say, but I don't know if there's anybody that follows you that would do that for you, but okay.
Lightly, but at the same time, he is obviously dealing with some mental issues as well, or else none of this would have been happening.
Okay.
He does need help. He is going through a lot mentally with himself personally and family related issues, obviously, but I'm not going to get into that. That's personal and it's not my business, quite frankly. But
so if what she says is that this guy was toxic in their relationship after saying like, yeah, I knew he was fucked up. So why are you coming like, I don't know. Okay. What's the allegation from her?
I'm just saying, I don't want hate to go to anyone. This did mentally affect me very badly.
Okay.
It mentally affected a lot of girls very badly.
Okay.
But I don't think hate should be spread in any type of way. I think people need help. And that's honestly all I want to say is just don't attack anyone anymore. Social media is just such a toxic thing. and it is very, very dangerous. That's why people have been killing themselves over cyberbullying since social media even came out, since the camera came out, since before the camera came out.
Wait, I just don't know what that means. People have been killing themselves on social media, on the internet, since before social media. Is that what she said? Okay, yeah, I have a time machine. Sure, okay, sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's just,
it's a lot of toxicity, and it's very, very dangerous to be on social media, especially this time and age, this year, especially.
The allegation.
I just don't want to see anything bad happen to any of the alleged victims or to StrangeKevin, because at the end of the day,
alleged victims now kind of shifted the bar there. Okay,
we had connected at one point, and I still do care about everyone. I never hated anybody, but there is hate in my heart because of what is happening to me.
So
but at this point, it's not only about me. If you're watching this, Kevin, I just want you to get help. I have no hate for anyone. I just want this to get out there because it can't keep happening. It really can't. And I'm sorry that it is going about this way, but it should have never happened.
All right, so far we got nothing. When you literally called his mom and told her he was cheating for fun and now he's upset, but you're just trying to let him move. Okay. Don't cheat, fellas, but it doesn't make you a terrible person. It just makes you a terrible partner. All right. Here we go. Kevin! Exclamation point, exclamation point. I do not own a gun, nor do I have... What the fuck? I'm sorry. This is gonna get... We're about to hit a wild ass ride after we see what Kevin said. I'm assuming this is a response to his video. We're gonna read this first though. I do not own a gun, nor do I have a gun in my possession. Never have. Never said I did. I have huge trauma revolved around guns. She might have a problem with revolvers. That's unfortunate. That is so incredibly untrue. 2 is blocked. Let me kind of move the watermark she put on her own video. I do not have a criminal record, and I've never been to jail. Look my name up, Victoria Ann Cups on Georgia. I have a clean record. Dox yourself, girl. What are you doing? You did lie about me. About your age. If I knew this was going to happen, I would have paid Geno Samuels to read this. 4. I have never cut for you. I cut because I was overwhelmed. 5. I messaged you because I thought I was at fault. You made me feel bad. Unlike you, I have a heart. Okay. This is fucking insane. This is the 6th one. This is insane. Also, I was never going to Manhattan. Maybe if you'd listened, you'd know, but everything is always about you, and I never invited you. You never addressed people hurting my son. Okay. This is my beautiful... Bro, listen, and like, God bless her because this is her kid. But, you know, there's nothing dumber than showing your fucking kid on social media when you're telling people not to harass your kid. The optics here are just incredible. This is my beautiful baby boy. Everyone was threatening. Thank you, Kevin, for making me realize not all influencers should be able to influence us. I'm going to be stepping off. TikTok beef is not worth a life and putting my son at risk. Thanks for everybody that believed or still does. It's useless. People will support people regardless of how bad they are. It always happened. Okay, yeah. Maybe don't put your kid on social media like that if you're afraid that they're going to get hurt. I'm just saying. It's a little bit of... That's the smart play. That's some advice. Okay, let's see what we got.
Tanaya messaged me. Tanaya added me on Snapchat early November, which was...
Are these girls in chronological order? That's my question.
A month ago. And she immediately was like, hey, I think you're super cute. I'm going to be in Manhattan on New Year's Eve. Me and my friend are renting a hotel. Would you like to come? And this was off the jump. We did not... I think all I said was hi. And I think I believe I asked her age, to which she told me she was 18. And she immediately invited me to hang out with her in Manhattan at a hotel that her and her friend were getting. We continued to speak over Snapchat because at this time I was very frugal with my phone number. We would Snapchat video call every day for about like 2 weeks. Throughout these 2 weeks, she would tell me stories, I would tell her stories, we would flirt. She would send me pictures, and we planned on meeting in person on my birthday, which was sooner than the day she was going to be in Manhattan. Okay. Tanaya and I would relate on mental health issues. We would talk about each other's trauma.
Okay, hold on. I just want to get her side of the story. I think this is her side of the story, and Karen clipped it up for context. Let's see.
I don't want to seem like PUSSY or anything, but we had been talking in like November and stuff. We were talking for maybe like 2 weeks. He had mentioned that his birthday was coming up and he was going to get me out to New York to see him.
All right.
And we were going to get a
Fly
hotel
me
and
out
hang
to
out for
New
his
York.
birthday and stuff. I was like, for surely, like, that's so cool. And he was like, I'm turning 21. I don't drink alcohol, but I
So, like, how big was Kevin on TikTok at this point? Was he a celebrity? Oh, our healer's gone fucking based.
buy some. And I was like, for surely, like, 100%. I had informed him on all my mental health issues, like everything that had happened to me when I was younger and everything, like sexual assault with my family and friends, like everything like that. And I had informed him. And he didn't care. Like, he never.
So, okay, listen. I said this before, but, bro, it sounds like they just started talking and she trauma dumped a little bit. Personally, I feel like you should try not to do that. I understand you got some shit going on and that's valid and I respect it. But when you first started talking to somebody, that's a lot to dump onto somebody. That's a lot of emotional energy. I've been there. I've never, and let me be explicitly clear. I've been there when the individual who expressed it to me, it was, or because more than one, was appropriate in our relationship. I've never had a girl on the first date tell me like, oh, did you know I was violently, it's not even that he doesn't care. I mean, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's a fucking sociopath. But walks like a duck, talks like a duck. It's most likely that he's like, wow, what do I say to this? That's a pretty normal human thing. But okay.
Never really cared. He would kind of like dodge my conversation. He would say, I want to listen, like I'm going to listen and all this stuff. Like, I'm a really good listener. I'm always here for you. And then, I don't know if I can talk about that. Like, he'd aim the camera down and, like, show it and then say, like, I gotta go do something. And then he'd be, like, 20 minutes. Okay. And then I'd be like, okay, like, okay, he cares about me. He still wants to talk to me.
Is she trying to say that he would show his penis? Or is she just trying to say that, like, he would put the camera down and be like, I gotta go? That makes sense to me. I might do the same. Okay, but then he would say that he was still interested. Like, maybe he just felt bad and didn't want her to. Like, that's what I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting here. Okay.
But like, obviously not, But he had been talking about, like, he asked me what I was into and stuff, and I was like, I really honestly don't know. Nothing like that. And he had told me that he was into
Personally, I'm into My Hero Academia. Pretty good show. Not bad. I have to watch the newest season.
As he said, mutilation kinks, trying to make it a joke. He was into mutilation kinks. He was into females carving his name into their body. Okay. And he was into being.
That could be true as long as it's consensual. Doesn't really matter, though, does it? How deep was it carved? I know that girl said that she carved his name into her chest. I was wondering, like, how deep was it? Did it leave like a scar? Because people have like different degrees of these types of things, where it's possible that it it depends on I mean, like, it was like a gash that required surgery, or was it like a light thing? Like, some girls, like, when you run like a knife over them, that mind spirits. I wonder how deep it is.
Being able to do things with knives to females while they were restrained in bondage. Okay. Then he would tell me that stuff, and I was like, okay. And then he would beg me. He was begging me. I'm not going to say anything else but that. He was begging me. I don't know how old he is. I was 18 at this time. But he was begging me to cut my hair. I think I have it. So go.
Begging you to cut your hair. Okay. Okay. Is that okay? All right. Okay.
Go ahead now. You said that he wanted you to, like, cut your hair.
He wanted me to cut my hair, and I had made this.
Now I know. He wanted to cut her hair because he's racist, and wanted her to cut her hair because she doesn't have hair that aligns with Western beauty standards. We got him, boys. We got him, boys.
Bracelet, right? And he was like, that is literally so cool. Like, mail it to me and stuff. And he was like, but wait, there's something missing. And he was like, I want you to put your blood in a vial for me. And like, me, I'm mentally unwell. Like, my whole family will get on here. Oh, pilots.
Okay, listen, sounds like you're both mentally unwell. Okay, listen, first of all, I think that's weird as shit. Second of all, from what the messages I read, it seemed more like she wanted to do it. But either way, like, people, you fucking weirdos think that that's like, no, like that. You guys are weird. Okay, like that's what you're doing. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Did he stab you and say, I'm stealing the blood? You're like, I want to do this for you. Women are fucking crazy. Men are crazy. If it was consensual, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to tell you, bro? It's fucking nuts.
Is my little sister. Like, she was here for the whole entire thing. I had relapsed. I was not doing good. It was the
also listen. I understand my mental health struggles. I'm compassionate about that, but you have to understand that you don't lose autonomy as a human being just because you have a mental health issue, unless you've been like literally to an extent, to the degree where you the state has to weigh in and deem you non-consenting, and that means you're very high support. I've met people. They're really good people who are non-consenting because they require a tremendous amount of support from the system. You listen, I'm no fucking expert, but you're not one of them. I can understand that you might be personally more willing to do things that you shouldn't be, but that doesn't mean that like you were being manipulated. So,
anniversary of my friend who had, I'll admit this too, had killed herself due to my own negligence of her situation, and that's really messed up. So I was self-harming, but it had nothing to do.
I don't know what the degree of that is. What does that mean? Did she try to reach out and you just didn't read the signs, or did you give her cocaine or something? I mean, those are two pretty big different things. But okay, let's just move on.
And then day before, I had collected the blood for his vial, and I had made his bracelet and his necklace thing. And
so, quick question, not to be inappropriate. Did she cut herself for the blood, or did she just kind of wait for her time of the month? You know what I mean? Because, you know, that's cheating. You know, you're supposed to hurt yourself for the blood. No, I'm just kidding. That obviously this show is inappropriate. Jesus Christ. Still a valid question though.
Smiling, and he was like, "That is so cool." And then he was like, "I need social media, so I don't want to be crying. I don't want to seem like,
woo." I came to New York.
Okay, that's the whole video. Crazy allegations. She dated a guy, and they made a blood necklace. Holy shit, Jesus. I wonder if I'm sure there are cultures that find like this to be a part of like a rite of passage. Would we sit there and be like, wow, this is really horrible if that was like, you know what I mean? Like, or would that be considered insensitive of that culture for us to do that? Anyway, seems like everything was consensual. Let's get back to the video.
One night we were speaking about kinks, and I'm not sure who brought it up first, but one of us brought up that we enjoyed that kink that's being thrown around. She was 100% down for it. She told me she was into this.
They keep saying mutilation, and is it mutilation or is it just like a cutting kink? Like I feel like I don't know. It doesn't seem as hardcore from every single girl that I've seen talk about it as like we're saying it is. So it's a little bizarre to me.
And that she had a history of participating in this kink in the past. To which we agreed upon receiving a necklace with a vial and hair as the band of the necklace.
No, okay.
In Tanaya's video, she claims I begged her. And I don't want to invalidate any of these women. I don't want to take away from their experience. But if something didn't happen, I'm going to say it didn't happen. I did not beg this girl. Another thing that Tanaya said was that when we meet, I told her I would purchase her alcohol. Given my history of being uncomfortable around people who are drunk, this doesn't make sense. Why I would buy her alcohol.
So why does this matter? Like are we, is the undertone or the suggestion here that she's like, I was under the age of 21, I was 20 and he was 21, or I was like 18 and he was 21 or something, and like he got me alcohol? Like, yeah, that's, you know, you shouldn't do that, but I wouldn't call that really predatory. That's somewhat normal. I don't know if you guys have ever been 18, 19 before. You know, sometimes you pressure your friends like, oh, bro, can you give me some beer? Yeah, dude. Like, it's, I don't think that it should be happening, but I mean, to assign, if that is what happened, to assign like a predatory intent to everything so quickly, just rubs me the wrong way.
It's not of legal drinking age. And she actually even said that I told her I was 20 instead of 21.
Oh, then how did he even get her alcohol?
Would imply that I couldn't even purchase alcohol. Yeah. She could have meant that.
Wait, what? He was trying to get me alcohol. Maybe he got connects. You know what I'm saying, dude? Fuck. Here we go.
I would have bought her alcohol on the day of my birthday. But again, given that I get super uncomfortable around people who are intoxicated, it doesn't add up. Tanaya.
Even if he did say that, or I would be like, yeah, you shouldn't do that, and then that would be it. Like, you're not a fucking. That doesn't suggest predatory intent because you would do something like that. Unless you're like 30 and getting like a fucking 18-year-old, maybe then it's a little weirder. Yeah, I don't know, but okay.
has a criminal record for, I believe, fighting people and having like a temper. I don't remember exactly what she was arrested for, but she was arrested for something along those lines. So it became apparent to me pretty quickly that
fighting?
like a temper. I don't remember exactly what she was arrested for, but she was arrested for something along those lines. So it became...
Same here, brother. I got arrested one time because a guy got in my face and yelled at me, and I pushed him, and he fell off a stoop, and he hurt his arm. He was screaming at me, man. That's the problem. When you're a big guy, sometimes people try to fucking test you. It's always the shortest motherfuckers to scream the loudest because they want to test you. I could stand up to this big guy, but the problem is that, like, in that dynamic, you're putting me in a situation where if I do defend myself, like, I'm obviously going to hurt you because you're a fucking little baby, you know? So it's like, damn, bro, come on. You put me in a situation. And, yeah, you know, poker champion, baby.
Became apparent to me pretty quickly that she had a very fragile temper. Tanaya would also talk about how she had a gun and was offering to bring the gun to the hotel room that we were going to meet at so that we can take pictures with her gun.
Hey, that's cool as fuck, dude. Let's go take a picture of my gun, bro. That's weird. Okay.
Makes me super uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm not the type of person to take photo shoots with pistols. It's not for me. If it's for her or you, that is fine.
That's interesting.
But not my cup of tea. Let's get into the meat of the situation with Tanaya.
It's such a weird thing. Come take a picture. Let's take a picture with some guns. Holy fuck, dude. That's awesome, I guess. That's just so weird. All right.
I don't remember exactly what she said in her video, but she implied that she was cutting herself for me. So as I said earlier, we planned on meeting each other in person around or on my birthday. When my birthday came around, she told me that her and her friend, which was supposed to be her ride to where I live, got into an altercation and they do not speak anymore, which is perfect timing right before we were going to hang out. So
yeah, it sounds like maybe she was just nervous or something. Okay.
I immediately got the vibe that this girl isn't serious about meeting, and I think she's just pulling my leg because I have a following. So I started to distance myself from Tanaya. I started to not call her on Snapchat for a couple of days, not text as frequently. A few days go by, and she randomly snaps me a picture of her arm just with...
Sexy.
It was very gruesome. It was cuts all over her arm.
Wow. I wish I didn't... Okay. I wish I didn't say that. I wish I listened for 4 more seconds before... something was said, because now I have egg all over my face, baby. Woo!
And her arm was very gory.
Disgusting.
And I immediately said, Tanaya, what happened? Why did you do that? And she replied with, it's for you. To which I called her on Snapchat to make sure she was all right, and she was having to make sure she to check if she was having a mental breakdown. She answered, and I said, Tanaya, essentially repeating what I said over text. I said, Tanaya, why did you do that? And she said, it's for you. And I said, Tanaya, I never asked you to do that to yourself. Why did you do that? To which she eventually came forward and said, I relapsed in self-harm due to my friend passing away. It's her anniversary.
That sucks.
And it was 3 years ago or a few years ago. Okay. And I started cutting myself as a result of being upset. And while I was cutting myself, I remembered that you had this kink, and I wanted to, essentially, she told me she wanted to hit 2 birds in 1 stone and take care of that while she was self-harming, which is a...
Very efficient, girl. Very efficient. Christ.
I knew the second that this happened that she would attempt to put the entire blame of her self-harm onto me because of my kink and my interest. So I blocked her. Here's screenshots of her.
I was making your necklace. I thought that's what you wanted, and I thought you liked stuff like that. I'm sorry I made you mad, but bye, I guess. I guess that's what I get for getting my hopes up. I'm an idiot. Like, what the fuck? I got the ride I was waiting to tell you. Sarah and I made up, and I paid her $100 so I could come this week. I'm sorry I made you upset again. I believe you, sweet boy. Heart, I'm going to see you in the movies one day. I'm proud of you. Or I believe in you, sweet boy. I'm going to see you in the movies. Incredible. Wow, sweet boy. That's what I'm going to call Kevin from now on. Sweet boy. Okay, so this does suggest to me that like she cut herself and he didn't ask her to, and she did an oopsie doopsie moment. And you know, I could understand where she's coming from with that little oopsie moment, and I wouldn't even necessarily like. Listen, bro, it seems like she's struggling with mental health, and she cut herself, and she's like, maybe Kevin won't like this, and like, I get it, you know, especially since she's probably in a very emotional state if she's doing that shit. But that doesn't make it right for you to go around and, you know, reframe the situation to make it as predatory sounding as possible. Yeah, I was making necklaces for you. I thought that's what you wanted. Either she's referring to like, oh, he wanted the necklace, or she's referring to the other thing, the cutting. It seems like it could be the cutting thing. It's kind of based on the context there. Okay.
Her last message to me over Discord and Instagram. And here's her messaging me after okay.
So actually talk to someone. Okay, so it's a little cut off, but it says, "Stupid to think I could actually talk to someone like you. You're very special. I wish I met you a long time ago before TikTok. Cool. I was really stupid. I know. Sorry, I just need like 2 seconds. Okay, let me just get myself. But it wasn't fair how different you acted last night. You were a completely different person, and I lost someone else in my life. Okay. I know I barely know you, but knowing that... Okay, no, we're just going to activate this. I know I barely know you, but knowing I'm too weird for someone to have me in their life really fucking hurts. Yeah, that sucks, but that doesn't make him a bad person. I genuinely feel like you got my hopes up for nothing, and... Maybe I'm overthinking, but I still really care about you, and I'm just going to keep my distance. I'm not going to be in Pennsylvania anymore. I'm moving to Texas. Okay. With my cousin, I'm so... Sorry, sweet boy. Okay, that is... Sweet boy. Damn. Pretty sure that's what they called Babe the Pig from the fucking... Right? From Babe the Pig. From the movie, Babe the Pig.
Days after everything happened, and her still...
Please tell me you've seen this. I love it.
Hitting me.
I know we aren't.
A few days after everything happened,
matters, but you never
and her still.
I know we aren't talking anymore, but I love her. Oh, so somebody duetted him that she likes. That's okay.
Hitting me up, flirting with me. Here's her still reaching out, flirting with me, swiping up on my stories.
Okay. That's interesting. Only you can see this. Okay.
And then when the whole thing with Tay Pookie came out, Tanaya started to build this anger, essentially hyping herself up in our DM messages on Instagram.
So you're gay now, LMAO? Oh, I see. LMAO, audio call, missed call. Idiot, you're dumb for real. Karma's a bitch, Kevin. Ah, interesting. Only you can see this. Can't fix the unfixable. It's my turn, Kevin. You're screwed. Lying isn't a good look. Well, you kind of dunked on yourself, girl.
I'm out with a story. The thing with these allegations...
You said I missed 2 screenshots? Which screenshots did I miss? Which ones is it that I missed?
They were all consenting adults. And...
What 2 screenshots are you talking about? Like, in what... How far back? How about how you... Oh! Okay, it looks like I did miss a couple of screenshots.
Here's a screenshot.
Okay, we got this one.
Of her last message to me over Discord, and...
Okay, how about you... Okay, how do I make it better? Or can I not? What's left to talk about? How about you lied and said you were actually into stuff like that? You said you liked blood and stopped playing with you because you were actually into it. You also asked me to make you a necklace or a bracelet with a vial of blood because you said it was special to have pieces of your bodily fluids or someone you care about. It's not fair how stupid you made me feel because you can't remember, but I doubt you don't actually remember. You probably changed your mind, but it's okay. It's okay. You're famous. You don't need blah, blah, blah. Okay. Is this one? I'm assuming this is one of the screenshots I missed.
Instagram.
Holy fucking Jesus tits. I'm gonna maximize it. You were actually into that stuff like that. You said you like blah blah blah. Okay. Piece of blah 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 blah. You probably changed your mind, but it's okay. You know you're famous. You don't need me, right? LOL. You have way too many people to have someone making you uncomfortable, so you get to rid of me. You can get rid of me. You can afford it. Get rid of people. Unlike most, I was just doing what I thought you wanted, and maybe it's because I'm autistic. Okay. Sorry, what the fuck? Okay. And now I don't understand. Maybe is that part of it? Does she have autism? Is that real? and I don't understand shit, but I know I wasn't making this up. I was stupid to think I could actually talk to someone like you. You were very special. I wish I met you a long time ago before TikTok. Okay, gotcha. We read the tail end of that. Interesting stuff. Wow. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff even, you know.
And here's her messaging me after a few days after everything happened, and her still hitting me up, flirting with me. Here's her still reaching out, flirting with me, swiping up on my stories.
We read those already.
And then when the whole thing with Tay Pookie came out,
Good looks,
Tanaya started to build this anger, essentially hyping herself up in our DM messages on Instagram to come out with a story. The thing with these allegations,
you do look nice in that hat, though, Kevin.
on Instagram to come out with a story.
It is a nice looking hat, my man. You look good in it.
Story. The thing with these allegations, they were all consenting adults, and they all, in one way or another, tried to use the knowledge of my kink to their advantage to try to manipulate me into staying.
Okay. Really wish this healer wasn't so fucking bad at the game.
Which sucks, but that is what it is.
So I spent all day editing this video. It's now 4 a.m. The next day.
Audio kind of sharded.
As I was editing the video, there are a few things I forgot to address. There was one allegation about Tanaya specifically that she claimed that we spoke when she was 16 years old, turning 17.
Just turn this up. Audio's gonna be a little wonky, but it's okay.
17. For this to be the case, we would have needed to speak in 2020, early 2020, because her birthday is June. Or allegation about Tanaya specifically that she claimed that we spoke when she was 16 years old, turning 17. For this to be the case, we would have needed to speak in 2020, early 2020, because her birthday is June or July.
What would that have made him?
I have the picture of her Snapchat showing her birth month. Now, I would have...
Okay, so if she was 16, well, how old would Kevin have been in that year of 2020? Like 18 or 19? Does that really matter?
19 years old at the time.
Oh, he said he would have been 19.
Now, I would have been 19 years old at the time.
Yeah, okay. I mean, listen. I don't really think that's particularly problematic, 16 and 19, obviously like every state protects like 16 and 20, for instance, which, not super ideal, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Okay.
Did I think it was okay to speak to minors at 19 years old? Absolutely not. I've been trying to sit here and rationalize how she would come up with that, especially given that we spoke last month in November, and throughout the time of us speaking, she has never mentioned to me that we had any prior interaction. If we were to speak years ago and we were to now come together and speak again, I'm sure that's something that's going to be brought up. Another thing, in early 2020, which is the date that Tanaya and I would have had to speak if she was 16 years old, I was new to making videos and content creation. So I definitely wasn't asking every single person their age when they were messaging me. Rest assured that if we spoke, it was just a simple interaction like, hi, how are you? Nothing inappropriate. I can say that with confidence because I do not distribute nudes. So the minor thing, again, not trying to invalidate any of these girls, but that simply did not happen. A couple of other things. It's been brought to my attention that Tanaya and her son were receiving death threats. I don't know from who because that's disgusting. I did not make this video for the purpose of you guys to go and bash these women, let alone their families. I just wanted to speak my truth and clear my name. As we come to the end with Tanaya, there was another thing going around about her claiming I doxed her when I showed our Discord messages on stream. I'm going to pull up the stream so you can see it. Okay. So this stream is private for copyright reasons, but I'm able to view all my streams regardless if they're private for copyright reasons or not. And this is the stream where I supposedly doxed her. If we go and we look, coming to where I live, and she wanted to hang out, link up, do whatever. And we were speaking on via Snapchat video.
I was making your necklace. I felt this way. Okay, you showed this already.
Okay. So, as you can see here, you can only see Tanaya's username. You actually can't see the numbers, the 4-digit numbers that you need to specify a Discord account to somebody. And as a matter of fact, this TT Crawford 04 was her previous Snapchat name. So this isn't a secret name. I don't see how this is a form of doxing. I can even skip towards the end. Maybe later on in the clip I did that. Nope. This is me reacting to her video. And
oh wait, did she take her original video down? Okay, well we got everything. So
I did not dox this woman.
I believe that that's
holy fuck, bro. Sorry. The audio is a little off.
All regarding the current predicament. For the videos I've made in the past, again, I do not condone. I feel shitty about them, but I grew as a person, and that's all we can do when we make a mistake.
Okay.
It's very important. It's very important to have the full context of things before making a decision. If you decide to not support me after this, that is completely okay. If anybody from the black community decides to not support me or forgive me, that is okay. And the same thing goes for the trans community or anybody that I have ever offended. You are all free to make your own decisions. You are all free to believe whatever story you want to believe. And if you continue to support me, thank you. I can definitely be an idiot sometimes.
Okay.
But one thing is that I will always own up to a mistake that I made.
Nice and neat, bro.
And take accountability for it. I'm going to do my best to not let you guys down. Thanks for watching. Hopefully that gave you a bit more context to form a better opinion on the situation. I needed my side of the story to be heard.
Sure.
Because so many people are making assumptions about me.
Yeah, I feel you, brother.
So yeah, thanks for watching, and have the day you deserve.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Whatever story you want to believe, and if you continue to support me, thank you. I can definitely be an idiot sometimes.
The hell's this guy wearing?
One thing is that I will always own up to a mistake that I made.
Nice and neat,
and take accountability for it. I'm gonna do my best to not let you guys down.
Good
Thanks for
man.
watching. Hopefully that gave you a bit more context
to
form a better opinion on the situation. I needed my side of the story to be heard.
Sure.
Because so many people are making assumptions about me.
Yeah, I feel you, brother. Someone said I have to clean my room. True.
So yeah, thanks for watching.
Dude,
and
just go
have
pushing the stuff off my
the
room,
day
my
you
shelf. Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Whatever story you want to believe, and if you continue to support me,
this is what we're doing now, dude.
You, bro. Fuck you. Thanks for watching, Papa. Love you.
Yeah, love you too, brother. Okay, yeah, man. At the end of the day, listen, bro, it's a lot of nothing. It sounds like a young man who has gone through, like, you should probably be a shitty partner, and I think we've all been there to different degrees. And he's with people who are also shitty partners, and that's that's the hot take, guys. But apparently, the energy that we used here was that he murdered 8 people. He is a school shooter. That's the energy Aunt Karen came at him with, and you know, she's doing it for a nice boost, a nice algorithm boost, and of course she's gonna have she's gonna get put on her ass again soon because she's gonna say some dumb fucking virtue signaling bullshit, and it's gonna get her canceled. Either way, I wanted to watch the video before, you know, I weighed in too heavily. You know, it's a good thing though that listen, man, and it sounds stupid, but it's a good thing you got banned on TikTok. At least that's how I look at my TikTok ban. I've been a lot more successful consistently on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing, man. It's interesting. I've been watching YouTube shorts, and I actually came across like a Joe Rogan thing. Dan Blazarian said this. I don't particularly care for him, but it was an interesting proverb. It was like a Chinese proverb, and it went, you know, this Chinese farmer, his horse ran away, and people were saying, "Oh, that sucks," and then the horse came back with other horses, and people were like, "Wow, that's awesome," and he's like, "Well, okay, maybe." Then one of the wild horses broke his son's leg as he was tending to him, and people were like, "Wow, that sucks," and he's like, "Maybe." And then the Chinese military, the people that were trying to sign him up, passed over him because he had a broken leg, and they're like, "Wow, that's great." And he's like, "Maybe." And the whole point of the story is that you don't really know if something's bad necessarily until you see how it pans out. And sometimes, man, like, it could pan out pretty good. You know, take a step back and move forward. I will say, if you're still watching, something to understand that a lot of content creators need to understand is that December is not a month of growth. So if you struggle view-wise in December, that is going to happen. Okay? Just keep that in mind, motherfuckers. December is, for whatever reason, there's fewer, I don't know, fewer people are engaging with content, or maybe they're just engaging, they might be home on vacation, but they're spending time with family, friends, watching TV, Christmas specials. They're less frustrated. If you do commentary content, you'll definitely see a loss of that because people, you know, talk about controversial issues. It's not usually a growth month, but it's a good month to kind of take a step back, take a deep breather, and figure out how you want to create content and explore and do what you want to do. And then come January, usually middle of January, like on the dot, that's when things start to kick off. I've experienced this, especially last year. So like this month, it can't. I did a content shift. I'm building this channel. I knew it was going to be a rough build for this month, right? But it, you know, that's okay. So don't go too crazy. But isn't December the month where you get the most money from ads? Absolutely not, bro. Are you kidding me, dude? Fucking absolutely not. Never. Always the least amount of money. Are you kidding me? Nah, brother. Nah. Who said that? Why do you think that? I'm genuinely. Oh, okay. I understand why you think that. You think that because there's more. You feel like there's more ads to be going around because they're like, oh, the advertisers are spending more money on ads, for sure. But like that doesn't necessarily. So the way that my understanding, the way that ads work on your videos is you set a placeholder for where an ad would go, and they may or may not implement an ad based on like how long the people are viewing the ad for, how much they engage with the ads on your videos, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't really matter that there's necessarily more ads going around. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get them put on your video. Maybe on people who get like a lot of views and a lot of views, not just a lot of views, but they watch more of the content, they engage with more of the content. I tend to have longer content, so people don't do that necessarily. But yeah, it doesn't manifest like that. Not for the smaller creators, I'll tell you that, brother. But that's okay. That's okay, brother. That's okay, my brothers in Christ, my brothers and sisters and sisters. Bada boom. All right. I'm gonna go piss, and we have to watch more content because that's how we make money, baby. Let's see what we got here. Oh, he's still watching.
Whatever story you want to believe. And if you continue to support me,
this is what we're doing now, dude.
You.
Oh wait, he's not still watching. Hold on.
Love you. Thanks for watching, Papa. Love you.
Yeah, love you too. Great, maybe. And the whole point of the story is that you don't really know something's dead. Oh, cool. He's still watching. All right, peace out, Boy Scout. Keep your head up, and DM me if you need any help with anything, brother.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.